Thanks, Jameson.
That was me.
Alrighty.
Recording in progress. Now you're
Oh,
fucked.
there it goes.
All right. So.
Got it?
Yeah,
Good
Nice
stuff.
job.
You did it with your teeth?
sort of. My teeth
Pull it
just
up.
ended up scraping into the cap, but they created some ridges, and then I used my shirt.
Hell yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
We're a great team in and out of game. We're team
Yeah,
players.
all you gotta do is put some air in there. Hey. What?
All right. So when we last left our party, we found them in the City of the Dead, the cemetery portion of Waterdeep, and they had second night of taking on the job for Sir Ambrose. The party did quickly uncover that there in the House of the Homeless, there clearly was some foul play afoot, and that they had to battle some undead skeletons mostly, and a large golem-like creature. So clearly, some kind of necromancy was being, energy powers being used here. They also found a opening that leads, because with the crypts being underground, an opening that probably leads further, probably leads into the sewers, and therefore crosses the boundaries of the City of the Dead back into the city itself. Maybe this is where whoever's working with or for this necromancer are coming from. And the reason I say working with or for is that you found multiple footprints, or two sets. You all were then able to pick up on a set going in the same direction as the Castellanter's tomb that you were also going to check on, because that is where Greta Garloff, where you left with her, you left a rundown machina, and Machina's eye was able to share this holograph kind of imagery of his last whereabouts of the Stone of Galore, and those seem to be taken by devils that were on their way to the Castellanter's crypt, or at least that's what they mentioned. Other than that, we came across a strange group of individuals, cloaked, almost struck you as cult types, in metal masks and kind of dark red robing, who were just walking through the park. The man introduced himself as Severin, and there was a little bit of back and forth, and eventually you all parted ways. And then we had a moment to share some of the secrets, or some of the things that kind of the things that vex or Eldricon's mind or backstory. And so we are still here on this night. We've been here and now have one more thing to attend to, which is this final mausoleum. Sir Ambrose has showed up. You realize that Sir Ambrose seemed to have been under maybe a suggestion or a charm spell, as he had run across the same individuals and thought nothing of it. Anyone want to add anything to that recap that I might have left off, or that you might find important to you?
Eldricon had that. You mentioned the vision, or did we talk?
Yes, I kind of
that?
mentioned it. Like we went and we did a little bit. He had a vision. Yes. Mm-hmm. Kind of like going back to where he had heard Severin's name before. Probably a vision that is new to him, that just came to him. That as well. So. Oh, I will also add that you found in the crypt, you found a key, like a steel key. And the only odd thing about the key is that it looks quite new. For it to be, it doesn't appear to have been off of one of the bodies, right? It wasn't sitting down here for centuries in a nook or in a crypt. It seems like it possibly could have been left behind by someone. And I think that's where we are right now. Anything else, anyone? Okay. What I'll do is tonight, I'm not going to be super long-winded as I reset the scene. So I want to give us enough time to kind of really jump back in. And so we are standing there under the moonlight, those drift globes kind of dancing around the cemetery that make the mausoleums and the sections of this park, of this section of the city, feel almost more like a park than an actual cemetery. If you weren't looking at all the strange Gothic statues and things that loomed around you. There is a bit of an uneasy feeling in the air after just coming across those strange humans or mortals who have passed by. But you've kind of starting to let that go, reconvening on what is most important now and what to do next. And I will turn it over to the party.
We have one more tomb, yes?
We've done a lot today. It's been it's been a really long day.
It feels like I've been up for several days at this point.
So where did Tempe go?
Oh, he Naruto ran over that way. You didn't see it.
He said he was going to go back to the house to take a long bath.
He's with you. We'll just imagine
No,
he's
I took him
taking
aside.
a long bath.
I gave him I thought that the way he behaved around the homeless was a little uncouth. I thought it was a little harsh. So I had a talking to. He's going back, pay his respects.
Fair enough.
He's just trying to get out of your challenge, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's recorded. He's a coward for not showing up.
Oh.
So I'm not
Okay,
feeling
so
100%. Do we want to do this now, or do we want to take another rest before we?
Yeah, are we trying to sleep or?
Malcolm,
think-
how late is it now?
It is probably the sun had just gone down. You had fought the Xanathar Guild around when the sun dropped. Sorry, so it's like 7, 8. I'd say it's almost 11 p.m.
Hey, that's not late.
Okay.
That's not really late at all. It's just that me and Ravi have been up for like 2 days at this point. I mean, right, if what we have left to do sounds like as long as we do it carefully, we should be able to do it without any problems, right?
Yeah.
Like
I'm just saying that I'm a little, I'm not feeling 100%. I got a little beat around a little bit last 2 battles. So
Elric, what does Elric look like from the last fight? Like, would we see any physical signs of whether they're just bruises, or does he, is there anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks like bruised, a little beat up, a little dusty, dirty.
Yeah. Okay.
But and also just walking a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Not as fast as he kind of was in the morning, or as he normally is when he enters battle. So you can see him a little bit worn out, a little
Are you
tired.
low on hit points?
I'm half at hit points, and then I've used up a lot of stuff, that I have. So it's just something to keep in mind. I don't mind going to, fight some more. It's just
We can always run away. Like the goal is just to do a little bit more recon, and if we need to book it out there, we can. We don't have to stay and fight.
So
yeah.
I haven't. I'm talking as Amnon. So my idea is maybe I can ask Imp to go ahead a little while being invisible, just maybe 15, 20 feet ahead of us, just so we can be ready and possibly ambush anything before we get to it.
The Imp? Is that what you're?
Mm-hmm. Use the Imp as a scout right ahead of us, so we'll go in right behind it.
Didn't you call your Imp off last time? So you'd be calling him back.
Oh, you're right. You know what? Never mind. I don't have an Imp anymore. You're right.
Because it takes like an hour to bring it back.
Yeah,
right?
you called.
I did, and I called them away.
We got Burrfoot and we got Ravi, right?
Yeah.
Sneaky.
And I'm gonna Sir Ambrose kind of spoke up as you sent off Tempe, and what I imagine is that when Tempe talks about the house of the homeless, this is his job to find out what's going on, and so he asks, "Yeah, Tempe, can you show me where you fought the skeletons? Can you show me this passageway? I'd like to see it." And so he decides to go off with Tempe to check that out, so that he can just confirm the information going forward.
All right.
Unless you're opposed to that.
If we do go into the next tomb, I have the energy to heal somebody one more time.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
So
I can heal 2 more times and then 3 more, a third time very well.
Yeah, sounds like we're not fully spent yet, so.
And I've even got some more. I've got a handful of hand healing points left, so.
Okay.
I got you, and I'm gonna smack Elric's arm and give him 1 point of lay on hands.
2 points of
Alright,
damage, 1
alright.
healing.
That helps.
Do you guys just want to knock this thing out really quick?
Jakarta looks drunk and happy. Like, no scratches on him.
Let's go.
all right.
Let's get to it so we have a nice story to tell Tempe once we get back and he tells us about his about his evening in the House of the Homeless.
There we go.
Jakarta, for someone who's been knocked out twice today, you're looking pretty good.
And
Yes.
for metagaming purposes, everybody who wants to make a Dragonlance character is totally fine if a character dies. You know.
I'm telling you right now, don't do
tempt
it.
the DM. Don't
I
tempt the DM.
am gonna stay with
We're
Dmitria
gonna go to the mausoleum,
forever.
and it's gonna be like Takesis right there. Done.
All right.
I already
gotta
made
redo all
my
this.
other cleric.
I got to
and
get
he
a
was-
chance to read through all the other Arcana first.
Everyone is just gonna
Yeah.
be jumping off to try and catch people who are already getting caught. We need to go to the plane of air.
Because also, if I want to bring the Dragonlance stuff into this game, I don't want it to just be people using Dragonlance stuff. You know,
Yep.
see, using the stat, like using the build
Yep.
without the. So I want to reserve the right to not go that route just yet. I think it's perfect for
Ooh.
our world, but I don't think we're ready for it.
He said yet.
So let's just
First
stay.
possible.
Yeah.
Eldracon's days are numbered.
Aldricon is definitely gonna go do his.
It's gonna be all these Dragonlance characters plus Machina.
So
yeah,
Dmitria and Dmitria.
Yeah, Ravi's not going without a fight.
A Burrfoot for real. Same. So I'm at full health, and Grom only is down a few. I only have like 1 spell slot, but I do have like all of my luck. So I'm down as long as we're careful,
Yeah.
and I can assist with that and being like super stealthy.
Yeah. Full
As you-
health, 2 first, 1 second spell.
So as you stealthily move as silently as possible through the very quiet city of the dead, the crickets, chirping, the drift globes glowing, casting strange shadows here and there. Some of you still clanking, Demetria and so forth, and probably Jakarta a bit. But you're trying to be as quiet as possible, and Burrfoot makes that much easier to do with her guidance. Burrfoot, would you, with help, or would you like to make a stealth check as you approach the mausoleum
Sure. With advantage.
with advantage?
Oh, first roll was a natural 19.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Oh yeah.
That'd be rogue shit if it's stealthing.
I imagine they're hunters. Rangers are hunters, so I imagine they're pretty
We're all
stealthy as well.
stealthy.
plus I got a 26.
Gotta be quiet to kill your prey. You got a what? I'm sorry,
26.
26. So yeah, moving briskly from tree to tree, maybe even Burrfoot, extending. I imagine leading a bit and then stopping, checking, and then telling the party, "Okay, come on, hoof it over." You come to a outcrop or a circle of trees and a couple of park benches, and then a very not the largest mausoleum, but a quaint small size structure similar to my structure behind me, but only using this as inspiration and not, there's no light on the top, there are no lights on inside, there are no undead over here walking through the mist. It is just a mausoleum. The two main doors, you're looking at it, of course, through the darkness from maybe about 40-50 feet. You can see that the brisk few stairs that lead up to the perching two doors, those two large doors are open completely. You don't see anyone around, and Burrfoot, why don't you give me an advantage perception check as well?
Uh, 18 perception.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay. It all looks clear. You don't hear any strange noises. You don't get an uneasiness like the bugs or the creatures in the ground have gone silent, like you might if something was afoot. But the fact that the doors are open is a bit concerning. Someone has clearly been here. Whether they're still there, you don't know, but you don't hear any noise. How do you all want to proceed?
I'll just tell the party that and kind of like kick back. Like, just straight up put my hands up and be like, I'm a ranged person. We're getting close. I don't know.
Somebody want to sneak in there? I look to Ravi.
Yeah, I'll sneak in there just to
Take a sneak peek.
Yeah.
So Ravi's going in alone.
Dmitria pats him on the shoulder.
Okay.
All right, I'm not gonna let him go in there alone. I'll go stealthily, really, really, really carefully.
I'll
Like Cheryl said, ears twitching, super vigilant here, and I'm leaving Rom behind for sure.
I'm gonna whisper to Burrfoot to like stay just a little bit behind me, just in case shit does go down, that you can hit from range.
Okay.
Like just have my back so you can keep an eye on anything that I might not be able to see.
I'm gonna pull my
whisper
bow and not necessarily knock an arrow, but just have it like loose.
Have it ready.
I'm gonna whisper to Elric. Elric, when you need light, don't forget about your pin.
Oh, I have it ready. Thanks, Amnon.
Mm-hmm.
So as you walk through the front archway, you can see the stone slabs in the floor of this about 30 by 30 foot room. Directly in front of you, about 20 feet away, 10 feet wide, is a staircase leading down into the darkness. All the sconces appear to be empty. You can see beside the stairs that lead probably deeper into the crypt, on either side are two sarcophagi that are sitting there, and both lids, one is ajar and one is already on like collapsed and kind of chipped on the floor, like someone literally moved it. So someone has been here, whether they be grave robbers or maybe the dead themselves moved, that you don't know. What do you do?
I'm gonna sneak over to the one you said was like moved over. I want to
Mhm.
see if there's a body in there.
Okay. As you peek in, Ravi, you see within the darkness, there's a bit like through these like strange, like very thin slits in the ceiling, a bit of the moonlight is able just to barely cast a slight like little lines, little glows across the inside of the tomb, and you see the impression of what probably was some kind of silk bedding that has been tattered and old from centuries, but there is almost no body left. You see a few chips and pieces of loose bone that broke off like a rib, toes, fingers, but most of the actual skeletal remains are gone or dust.
Can I pick up like a piece of it and like smell it and then see if I can smell it anywhere else in the room?
Give me a
Can I give him advantage? Help. I'm very good at smelling.
Yes, you may.
I'm gonna tell him the sense of things that I hear. You know, a little
Thank you, because my first roll was a 4, second roll was a 19 plus 7, 26.
Okay. And so you smell a lot of this smell, and even more of it downstairs. The remnants of the bones are everywhere. You also notice between you and Burrfoot that those you find a while you didn't, it's not like while you were on the way over here you followed a very clean set of tracks, but you pick up on similar tracks that have the same size footprint as those that were leaving the House of the Homeless. These now look like they are also exiting the premises of the mausoleum.
Should we? I mean, it doesn't look like they're here. Then
Can we do a little smell? To see if they're here. Or how fresh do those tracks look? The ranger shit.
Now, Burr, why don't you give me an investigation check?
like, can I?
No help from Ravi on this one.
Investigation. Sure, you don't want us to be like something like survival?
No.
I like that like portion of a second of a pause. Well, then that's a solid 8.
Okay. So because I imagine Burr's natural essence of tracking and things, are still somewhat limited to this world, and while your natural, ranger, hunter, not quite a detective. So this is like maybe 5-10 feet outside of the mausoleum. You lose the direction completely.
Can I try to investigate?
Things seem to have gone cold here.
Can I try and investigate?
Sure. Tell me how
Are
are
you
you
with
investigating?
Are you not even with the,
Are you
with them,
walking
right?
up? So that means you have to walk up and enter the mausoleum. Because so far, the only two
They-
people
they
that were in
went
the
in
mausoleum
first.
were, yeah. So I was waiting for them.
I pictured Amnon coming in behind them.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't picture him waiting outside.
Okay.
Okay. $17.
Okay. And so as you look around, trying to help Burr, and you too, Amnon, are not able to either catch a scent or it's like you lose the footing in the mist and the grass. It probably has something to do with the fact that while these are pretty fresh, it could have been anywhere from several hours could have passed since they've been here, and so you're having a hard time finding a clear connection, a clear direction. Amnon, you do sense though a presence downstairs.
I'm gonna turn and kind of lift like my facial expressions and psychically just like communicate to everybody that I have a feeling that there's somebody downstairs that's here still.
Okay, well, like last time, I guess we go down and fight some skeletons.
Let's.
Dimitria's gonna turn to Eldricon. I don't know why Eldricon specific, but she's gonna turn to Eldricon and she's gonna say or ask, so like, right, I think you know more about this place than I do. There was that exit that we think that our people in the first tomb might have used to get into the catacombs. or the sewers.
Yes.
Is there one? Do you know if there's one that attaches maybe over here? Does it go all the way to this mausoleum? Because if we go in there, we could just scare them away. But if we lure them out, they might try and meet us out here.
On a meta level, I did ask that. I asked that question, like, does this connect, right? Does this area connect to the other? But I rolled for it and I didn't get it. So Eldricon would just be like, I know nothing.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you anyway. Because I don't know, guys, we're pretty beat up, or at least most of us are. Do we really want to go barging in there, or do we think maybe there's a work smarter, not harder kind of scenario that we can
So
do?
close now, though. It's kind of, that was my thinking just like a little bit ago. Now we're here. Maybe we just take a look.
One guy.
You're a ballsy
Well, I
motherfucker
can
for
tell.
someone who falls unconscious.
I fall unconscious all the time. I'm used to it.
Burrfoot, should we still stealth down there and just give it a look?
I think we should. Super careful and just see if we can. It's like downstairs, right? Is where these people are.
Mhm.
Yeah. See.
We don't even know if it's a bad as far as we can tell at this point.
It's a bunch of kittens and puppies.
So how will
It'll be
you
nice.
how what's the marching order? How will you go, continue?
I'm gonna shamelessly follow behind Ravi and
Okay.
give whatever help action you'll let me give to Ravi.
Are we following in at
Are
this
we
point?
lighting torches for our human for Elric, or
Yeah, I'll light my
Is-
I'll light my thing that Amnon gave me.
First, if
My
not
one
marching
pen.
order.
say this again,
I-
Amnon?
Oh, who's first?
I'll go in
Robbie
after Amnon.
That
If Amnon's going in, I'll go right behind him.
that ominous
Arthur can
question.
take the front, Dmitria can take the rear as far as tanking
I-
goes.
I was gonna
Always-
say that I think Demetria would want to keep Ravi within 30 feet so that I can close anything that might melee him. So if they're
Yeah, so
going
go ahead and-
ahead, give them like 30 feet of distance, trying to like give them some room to stealth. But then if shit hits the fan, I can close. So I don't know if Jakarta is okay with the back of the pack.
Yeah, you can take the back of the pack.
I think-
Dimitri, you are going first.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you should go first.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dimitri, come here.
Well,
really
don't
quick.
volunteer. People don't volunteer.
I think either they go alone because they are good at sneaking, or we all just go together.
I'm okay going with Ravi just to see, and then we can
Uh,
backtrack a little bit and just see what, and like tell you guys like how many people, if we recognize any. This was supposed
well,
to be recon.
I'm just expecting there's going to be skeletons down there, like last time.
And if they
So-
see any, they can run back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
what.
who's going? Burrfoot, are you going?
Yeah, and I think it's just Ravi and I. We're just gonna look. We're not gonna go all the way like down. We're just gonna try to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Ravi, can you come here really quick? I'm gonna approach Ravi, meet him in the middle, and I'm gonna cast a blade ward on him.
What does that do? I don't remember.
What is that, disadvantage?
Once I can click on the screen, I'll tell you. It's not working. It like
And you
oh, there it
never
goes.
split the party.
Yeah, Cheryl. I think we're like close enough.
Well, you guys are good at staying
We're
alive.
like a reverse parasite, like where he creepily comes up the stairs. We're doing like
I can't deny that I'm really worried right now that
Also,
they're going by
if-
themselves.
Hmm.
Amnon, stay. I would say Amnon, try to stay close enough that if you hear something go down, you can message them.
I'll be
Or-
right behind.
or-
I'll be right with you guys.
I'm not worried about Burr. I might be a little more worried about Ravi.
okay. I'm gonna ask this to Ravi actually. Ravi, what if I sent Grom down because he can just tell me out loud what's there, and I still can summon him back from the Fae today. Just an action. Side note. I could just send Grom in because even if he goes down, I can just bring him back. And he's incredibly brave and courageous. So would do this 100% for us. Slash me.
You're just gonna send Grom down?
I was gonna say I don't know. I feel like Ravi, even if that is the thing, I feel like he would feel weird about just being like, yeah, just send him in, like, you know.
I'm gonna motion to Grom and just ask Grom's permission. Consent is a big deal between both of us. So I'm just gonna ask him, and he's gonna be down because he's always down to do anything like that.
Is he stealthy?
Not really, but
The thing is, I'm if we sneak down, we might be able to catch them talking if they're down there.
good point.
We might be able to hear some things that we might not otherwise be able to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna give Grom a pat on the shoulder and say thanks anyways. That's a better idea, Ravi. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna sneak behind Ravi, give the help action, and hopefully we can just hear. That's a good idea. Maybe we can even stop if we hear things before we even see anything.
Yeah.
Or smell, both choices.
So it's Burrfoot and Ravi and Grom, or Grom going.
He's gonna stay.
He's going to stay. So just Burrfoot and Ravi going down. So you descend this 10-foot, stair, not very far to get to the bottom. But there's a long, dark hall ahead of you. And there are alcoves along each, kind of staggered along the hall. And the hall goes down another, almost 50 feet. And there are at least 5 alcoves that in each one there are coffins, tombs, crypts, where bodies would be. From where you are, to see them any further, you would have to continue. Now, are you guys just using your dark vision, I take it? Or
Dark vision, yeah, and then also just kind of listening.
Yeah. It's dead quiet.
Using smell because I don't have dark vision.
Oh, got it.
And listening.
All right. So, do you guys go down the hall further, or what's everyone doing upstairs?
Just kind of listening in and waiting, I guess.
Yeah, if I don't see or hear anything, I'll keep moving cautiously forward.
As you move forward, what you begin to see, Ravi, is that each of the sarcophagi, the tops have been thrown to the side, and again you start to see the repeating, the familiar sight of most of the bones. There are scattered also bones in the hallway, as though some of them were dropped, or the ones that were broken. And can I have a perception check? I'd also like a perception check from everyone else upstairs.
Not me, right? I'm the only person.
Not you, no.
We're in darkness, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
That would be a 4.
Okay.
A 9.
So Ravi, this is starting to look more, because both between you and Burr, what you're not seeing that you feel like you would be seeing, you're not seeing multiple footprints of undead. So it becomes readily apparent that similar footprints of those humanoids, or that of a boot size, you're still picking up those tracks. And I did perception just because as you're walking, you're just kind of seeing them, you're kind of just taking this all in, but you're also noticing that, yeah, it seems like this appears to be a grave robbery. That's what it appears to be. And at the end of the hall, there is in the alcove, there's a sarcophagus that is also opened and has been ransacked, but on the sides of it are kind of reliefs, like carvings in the wall, and they appear to be small little reliefs that go around the top of the archway, maybe 5.5 feet up or 6 feet up around the room. and they seem to depict different Castellanters. Of course, the Castellanters emblem was on the floor upstairs, and over the archway there seemed to be a woman and a man. The way the relief is carved, and their hands are like kind of clasping together as though they're supposed to be holding something together, as though something should easily fit, like a small stone should fit there, but nothing is there. So you see that as well. Upstairs, Elric, you rolled a 4. As you, and are you inside the mausoleum? Are you outdoors? Are you kind of standing at the doorway?
I picture myself inside, sort of towards the center, kind of waiting with Amnon, listening to if I hear anything from coming down below.
Yeah. So as you kind of hear something, Ravi, and you kind of turn towards the doors that are open. There's a bit of like the wind kind of picks up momentarily, and you kind of look like something's wrong outside. Maybe you're a little on edge because you're not feeling too well from this fight tonight. You hear someone kind of dragging their feet. Slowly a figure kind of approaches the doorway. Everyone turns to see it, and then out of the shadows steps Sir Ambrose. And he's like, why are you guys looking like you just saw a ghost? Everything okay over here?
The biggest, longest fucking troll, dude. Just fucking trolled all of us. That was amazing.
He just goes, well, I checked it out. Tippy's standing out there like 10 feet, 15 feet behind him. He goes, everybody okay? And so far downstairs, Ravi, that's all you found. The ransacking, nothing else seems strange between you and Burrfoot. He goes, after what Tempe showed me, you all are the real deal. I mean, in one night, you're able to track down and get us closer to the necromancers, and how we at least now know how the culprits are getting in. This has done a lot to solve and really help us out. And you know what? I was talking to Tempe here. Seems like a good fellow, and I've decided you've done us a good job, more than what I would have expected in 10 nights. So I will pay you your 100 gold each. I'll have it delivered in the morning. He hands over a pouch that's 50 gold each. He says I'll have the rest handed over tomorrow. I'll be spending the rest of these nights from here on out, the city guard.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. Like, can I insight check to see if he isn't trying to get us off the trail that we're on? Cheryl literally read my mind.
Give me an insight check, Eltricon.
Elric's busy counting.
So he hands over. But he starts to go on. He does also share, like, what he decides is they're going to have the city watch camp out in the house of the homeless. They'll be able to watch that space and hope that whoever is coming through or going out shows back up. Worst case, he says that they'll be able to close that wall in so they can't get in that way anymore. He does ask you, though, he has a feeling from what Tempe showed him that whoever's coming here is not the necromancer themselves. So, he says to keep your eyes out and your ears peeled, and maybe there's some more money in it for you if you end up tracking this necromancer down. Insight.
I'd say worst case scenario is the city guards watching the place get turned into bodies and then more skeletons.
They would be zombies, not skeletons. Immediately, there'd have to be a lot more work involved.
No, you can convert a body into a skeleton. Just the bones kind of rip out of the body.
Like when you're pulling the bones out of a chicken wing.
Kinda, yeah.
That's awful.
That's a 14 total for that insight.
Okay. And so he looks over at you all and he goes, fair. And as you guys are being a bit quiet, he kind of looks at Eldricon and he goes, you're welcome to come back every night this week if you like, and continue for the same price, of course. I'll still pay you your 100, but if you're feeling uneasy, I'll see you tomorrow night. By the way, it seems like whatever you all are doing here, I'm getting the feeling is not connected. I mean, well, this is clearly connected, but are you looking for something else?
Yeah, do I get a read off of it? Like,
what you get is now here's the thing. This could be because maybe you didn't roll high enough or he rolled over you, but
Yeah.
your uneasiness stays. You still feel like maybe should I not trust this guy? But then again, you guys don't trust anyone. That's how you guys have walked around this entire time.
shit. I'm reminded of that video that I sent over where like it was just like inside check after inside check.
Inside.
But we've decided the 47 NPCs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We got burned the first time, okay?
Who did I burn you with?
The guy who gave us a
The guy that gave us a
The
house.
guy that gave us the mansion.
What did he do? Wait, am I crazy?
Bolo.
Yeah,
He was
he gave
supposed
us
to give us gold.
too much. He gave us too much stuff.
Oh, he gave you something better.
Yeah.
Us an
I would
investment.
not think that's a burn. Like,
We wanted liquid. We wanted
I
liquid,
said,
he gave
like,
us an investment.
hey man, I'll do this, man. If you take me down to this place, I'll give you $50 in gas money, and then you give me a Lamborghini. I'm gonna be like, that's cool, man. I appreciate it. Actually, you give me a Honda. You give me a Honda Civic. I'll sell it. Thanks, man.
Honestly, if you were to give me a Lamborghini, I'd be like, why? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, exactly. This
We
is
did
true.
say
That's
that.
why I say if
We
you
did
give me a
say
Civic or something, I'm like, I'll take the car. I could do something with that. I could flip it.
Yeah.
Just
But,
don't trust people, okay? We've been burned.
I
All
hear
of our
you, I
characters
hear you.
have been burned.
Elric is going to finish counting the gold and just kind of raise the pouch and just say, "Thanks, Sir Ambrose. You, sir, are a good man. Thank you."
With the coin purse raised, Dimitri's gonna lean over and take it from Elric really quickly.
This is the individual stuff, right? Or is this a party gold?
No. So Eric, Dimitri has a point.
You're welcome to
I'll
stay
be-
out
I
here all
expect
night.
my share.
You'll get your share.
I
You know, you
expect
can
my
ask
share.
me for it. The Bank of Dimitria will watch over it for you.
I
Fair
expect
enough, fair
Dimitri to
enough.
buy you a shield.
Fine.
Well, like I said, I think what we've uncovered tonight is more than I've uncovered in the past 2 weeks, and so I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to have the guard stationed to watch for the rest of the night, but I'm an old man. I'm going to go home and get some sleep. So,
Yeah, get some rest.
yeah.
Should we?
You all stay safe.
You too.
Can I?
Oh
What a nice guy, right? I'll say to Eldricon.
I'm not so sure.
Oh my god. I wish Burrfoot was here so bad.
Actually, he says the rest of the gold will be given by the priest of Salune when Ravi goes and picks up his stuff. So
Malcolm, you're already changing it. That makes me suspicious. Just kidding.
calm
I
down.
want my stuff.
I'm just giving Ravi. Yeah, Ravi has to get his stuff back, so
Yeah,
gives
true.
him
Yeah.
somewhere to go.
And I,
Literally was like, hey, I need you to tell me about this necklace and my sword.
Um,
so are we walking back now?
Well, we're still down there.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Insight check from Burrfoot and Ravi.
Oh, well.
Turning the tables on us, huh, Malcolm?
Oh, hell yeah.
You two no longer trust each other. No.
Yeah, insight check.
21.
Is
You're
it,
all vampires.
is it dark down here? Like,
It
this
is
a
dark.
insight or like an intuitive insight?
It's an intuitive. This is
All right, then I'm
it's
not.
based on the information that your characters already know.
Okay.
I'm
16.
okay. The Ravi got it or high enough, and so Ravi, what it's looking like to you as you observe here, what might seems to have happened here is these two random incidents. As often as they continue to do for you all, everything seems to be kind of coincidental in some strange way. The there's been a coinciding of, you believe that the stone was supposed to be brought here based on the holograph that the machina that she saw there. And then it seems to be that what could have happened is, if it was delivered, could whoever robbed the grave have taken it along with the bones and the other things they stripped off the bodies.
Okay. I'm going to tell that to Bert because I'm never going to remember that.
And you also get the feeling that at this moment, this may be all that you are able to get at this point or uncover tonight without some further investigations.
Yeah. And Ravi at this point is probably like starting to like pass out.
Any of y'all need a piggyback?
Well, with seeing, I'm probably seeing how tired Ravi is at this point. Gotta be almost like to an exhaustion point style. I'm just gonna say that and say maybe go rest. I don't think that these guys really are gonna be hard to find later.
Yeah, you're
I'm
probably.
gonna be like, let's all get some sleep and Ravi, I'd like to talk to you in the morning if you don't mind.
That sounds good.
I think we'll start kind of very stealthily still, just as stealthily going in, coming back out, and go meet up with the party and relay everything and suggest that. And hopefully someone's going to hand me my 50 gold. That's all I'm saying.
Ready and able. 50 gold for Burrfoot.
Hell yeah. Burrfoot's going to just be like, thank you, Dmitria. I didn't know you just had tons of money. This is amazing.
Okay, so she gets it, but I'm not gonna get it. I thought
When you've shown fiscal responsibility, your credit score went way down with that move you put when I wasn't here, man.
Which is your financial advisor.
I'm not. Come on, what do you think? Elton?
No, I think she still has a good point.
I think we'll very carefully make our way back out with the rest.
And so what I'll
rest,
say
long
is
rest.
you guys can
Please.
journey home without incident. Make it back to Trollskull Manor as you guys open the door and walk in, tired from a very long day. Very long, almost feels like a couple days, right? Unless there's anything you'd like to share to kind of nightcap the night, we will transition on to getting you guys a long rest and picking up the next day.
I'm going to say, as like we get home, there's like a small package, like a little box on the doorstep.
Okay.
And I go and I pick it up, and I'm gonna call Elric aside, like before we go inside, and just like motion him out into the yes, Fantasy Amazon. Motion him out into the courtyard. Just be like,
What's up, Ravi?
I felt bad about, kind of letting you go off on your own back when we were at the mansion. So I got you a little gift, and like I hand him the box.
This is for me.
Yeah, I just thought, maybe you could use it to vary up your fighting style. I don't know if you've ever used one of these before.
I'll just start opening it. What would I see exactly?
It's you see like this nice longbow with the phases of the moon like carved into the riser.
Oh shit.
And it's just like super, it's like very nicely detailed and all that. It's just those and I had this added in. I asked Tally to engrave it.
Ravi, this is I don't know what to say. This is that's really thoughtful of you. That means a lot.
Yeah. I thought because so I don't know how familiar you are with the story of Silune, but
No.
she kind of goes through a cycle of death and rebirth, and just like, and kind of points to where the moon is, whatever phase it's in, just being like, as her power grows, the moon becomes fuller, and as it fades, it becomes a new moon. But
Right.
no matter what, no matter how many times she loses, the battle against her sister Shar, she always comes back.
There's a lesson in that for sure. Man, I don't know what to say. I've been thinking a lot about my fighting style, and how I just jump in there and I just charge in, and I assume I'm just gonna take down the enemy. I just think I'm gonna win and be victorious the way my master was, and I just kind of copy him, basically. That's all I've been doing. I've just been copying him. And I've started to kind of, realize that maybe I need to change it up. I need to embrace my own style, my own unique. And, you saw the violin that I have, and that's a part of me that I sort of threw away because I thought I needed to be just like my master. I couldn't embrace who I really was. But this is also a nice reminder that, I need to, if I want to be better than him, I can't be like him. I have to embrace who I am. And I can't shy away from that, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Ravi just gets like kind of shy because he's not like used to these kinds of moments.
I'll put a hand on his shoulder and say, yeah, I know you've been trying to embrace who you really are as well. And I respect that. I think that's something we both can work on.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks a lot. I'm gonna try this out first thing in the morning.
Yeah, let me know if you ever want to go practice or something.
I appreciate it. And I'll look back up at the moon, just kind of raise my bow to it and walk back inside.
And I don't think there'll be a better way to end that evening as we kind of close out.
Aww.
Unless, we come to that next morning as you all rise, bright and early, or maybe you just sleep in. I'd like to, instead of me setting the scene, I'd like to take notes from the way sometimes I play Tales from the Loop, or in that idea that the players set. What are you all doing that next day? What's the scene that we pick up on with the group? I'll allow you guys to formulate that.
I would say that Amnon would wake up early because he'd be kind of transforming his room a little bit from more of like a healing and medical kind of like space to more of a tinkering and more of a workshop base. So you will be hearing more, like I'll be like creating things. I'm actually what you'd be seeing me do in my room like all the time, or start to do in early this morning, is working on my staff, like adding things to it, nailing things to it, trying to break it, and just seeing if I can do something with my staff. So I've just been working on that the whole time. And you'll be hearing like sparks and, hammerings.
Like power tools that don't exist.
Well, I picture that like I can like put like one of my spectral shards into things and kind of run it off my psionic energy, because I put that connected. So if there is a blade, I could put that shard into it and just it lights up like electricity.
Nice.
That's how I'm picturing everything right now with Amnon.
I like it. So you guys are hearing a bunch of ruckus that wakes everyone else up as Amnon is fast at work changing the new room.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna go knock on Eldricon's door and ask him if he wants to make breakfast.
Oh shit! I was gonna actually say that after having that like vision thing, he would have probably on the way back tried to like slink off.
Okay.
So
do like a bit of back room, like gambling, like do like a night of drinking and gambling, trying to get his mind off that shit.
So Ravi shows up to
Rum springer.
an empty room, unless he's unless you imagine he would have been back.
He like would have gotten back to do some like crashing out in like the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I have a charisma check from you, Eldricon, and a constitution check. Save a constitution.
Oh
save.
shit. All right. So the charisma. Oh shit. Save or just blank check?
Charisma's a blank check.
Okay. 18 plus. So 22 total for the charisma check.
Nice.
And the con save. 14 con save.
So
You doubled your money, but then you spent half of it on booze and got drunk.
Shit.
the story of what happened the night before is yours to tell whenever you decide. I just know that you met someone. You can decide who that someone may have been, and may have had a good time with them. And you also won some money. And you, with your gambling, came out 12 gold. So you lost some, you won some, but you came out 12 out on top.
Oh, damn.
And you surprisingly held your liquor and whatever you may have smoked pretty well, and are on your way staggering through the streets, starting to kind of get things back together. Your faculty's coming back to yourself. And what I'll say about the charisma of the person is you can kind of decide who you think they are, and you can share that with us later, or you can share it whenever you do share it, and then they may or may not become a helpful NPC in the future.
Oh shit.
You went out with your boy Volo.
Met up with Aramis.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Dude, actually I was thinking of like maybe like some like roguish like lady character would be sweet to like have up in the NPCs.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's what I was, but you could play it however it's
Lady
yours
Risk. It's Aramis with
to run.
disguise self. Lady Risk.
He was pretty slender, you know. That's not too far.
I think, but either way, like a rogue like that's connected to the criminal circuit in some way would be kind of like, I think would be cool in this game.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm metagaming.
I get it, Brittany. You're like, no female characters for Travis. You're like, he has to be a male friend. I get it. She's
Honestly, like, because I was thinking about, wasn't Elric in the circus? Or am I confusing that with Quinn?
Quinn Rich.
That's why.
Quinn
was in the circus. Quinn was in the circus.
See, I'm just fucking. It's
You learned how to play cards from Aramis, so it is Quinn.
Makes sense.
Someone's got to get in there somehow.
If you want to like say that you
That's
think
true.
you met, so I think that would be an extra check. If you think it's actually Aramis, you can message me. I might have you make another roll to see if it actually is another character that like might be pivotal at some point. But yeah, I'm having fun with these ideas. It's allowing you to possibly even like make up this character. They may just be a random NPC. They may become important. We don't know.
Well, shit.
Yeah, well, there we go. Anybody else? So at this point, you guys are at an intersection where there are so many things. You guys have been talking about how things have been stacking up. This is your chance to decide whether you just sit around and make pancakes, or you decorate your house, or you go off on the next adventure, or you try to track down what's going on with
Go to Fantasy
this.
IKEA for the day.
This is
Because don't we have Ravi's sword is still
I gotta go
hooked
pick
up.
that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should go pick that up.
And I can do these as quickly or as slow as you like. So, for example, Ravi, it would take the all of an hour to go visit the Temple of Selune. If you would have gone and I think her name was Athana, if I'm not mistaken, the head priestess would be there.
So Amnon would want to go with
Okay.
Ravi. That's what he wanted to talk to you about.
Okay. Then why don't we pick up there then?
Yeah.
And
Anybody
Jakarta
else
will tag along
going to that, or would this just be Amnon and Ravi heading over to the temple?
Burrfoot
Jakarta would go as well.
cross-legged on the ground, counting out her coins, splitting it 50-50 with Grom.
Oh,
Grom is
Man.
persisting, saying that I should keep all of it, but we're negotiating what I'm gonna buy.
No,
Grom.
he like puts his nose down and is like nudging the stacks over to her.
oh.
And he's like telling me like, just wait until I'm like, back in here.
Burr's like holding out the gold coins on her little paw, and Grom is doing like the stomp thing with his paw back. Like, no.
That's all that's going down in the trap springer portion of the house. So
Lith is watching amused.
You might hear a little bit of the violin playing from Elric's room.
Nice.
Jakarta is not wearing any of his armor or weapons when he goes to the temple this time. He's just casual clothes.
You can also go back for Machina and pick Machina up whenever you like.
Yeah,
you can-
that's what I was doing now. He was
You can
gonna
also
get
pick up Machina.
just the payment, and then he was gonna head out.
And so as they travel, as you walk back to those grand halls, that beautiful temple, lights constantly reflecting within, the drawl of almost this kind of beautiful that automatically calms you as you enter, that kind of chanting that's being done by the priests and priestesses of the house.
This time, as we walk through like the threshold into the church, Ravi's gonna shift.
Ooh. And so he just kind of turns and transforms into his magnificent form, and there he notices that as he enters, that several of the people kind of turn momentarily, like hearing the sound of the shift, and it's a look of shock, and for a second there he might even read it as, oh no, like, oh my god, are they seeing this as something? But then as if they look at him, they all kind of nod and give a bow, and you can see smiles underneath their hoods. Shortly, Athana comes out and graces you with her presence, just elegant in all her kind of her majesty, and says, "You did very well. Thank you for helping Sir Ambrose. I may call on you in the future, but I was to give these back to you. I know you are looking for what I may have found." And as she hands the sword over, she goes, strangely, you may be disappointed, but I was unable to see or read the future or read your path. But what we continue to see looking at the blade is that your path is quite bright, no matter where it takes you. And this is a direct blessing of Selune herself. But I think what I interpret from it is that she will not force your path, but she will be there with you and she will guide your footsteps. And that the sword will be an ally to you on your journey. It appears that it will take you beyond these walls, far and wide over Faerun. So continue to prepare yourself for it. It will not always be bright, and it may get very, very dark. But the sword, like your heart and your soul, will continue to shine. And it will be a beacon in the darkness.
Thank you. I'm gonna collect my things. And thank you for your wisdom as well. And
Please
he's
know
gonna-
that you are.
Oh, so he's just gonna glance over at the party and just like, you were right. There's nothing to be.
The rest of your friends are always welcome, and those who did not take a pendant, if you would like to join the church, there is no pressure, but please come back and let us know. I know some of you had taken the pendant that she had handed over before. You now know that I think at this point the pendant was. Find it here. It was a charm of restoration. Two all took one. I know that Ravi has one, right? You have a charm. Did anyone else take one or no? No.
I wasn't
Arthur
with
didn't
him.
take one.
It was the charm that looks like. What was
I know
it?
Dmitria she doesn't feel confident enough in her one god
Yeah.
she has. She doesn't want to go risking it by double dipping.
Fair enough.
And
Fair enough.
Jakarther's mother would beat the crap out of him if he took another god's pendant.
just making sure. Okay, so she's handed that one over to. Of course, Ravi still has his, and she thanks you all, and you also realize that she could be used if you ever need to come see her or ask her questions. She is here and open.
Well, I suppose while we are here, there is kind of a bit of a pressing matter, and I'm going to look to Amnon.
Yes.
So I'll walk over and I'll just nod and greet the priestess. Hey, good evening. I'm gonna turn over to Ravi and I'm gonna be like, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and I'll be like, you're welcome to stay if you like, but I'm pretty sure that Dmitria would love to see you right now.
Sorry, what does Amnon mean by that?
Oh, I'm welcoming you to stay with me, but Dimitria's going to be really proud of you. And I figured that
Oh, okay.
she'd want to see you. Like, I mean that like she's a mother and like you did a really good thing. She wants to hug you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me to go outside.
No.
I was like,
No, I meant the exact opposite of that. I said, you're
Dimitria's
welcome
in
to
like the waiting room.
stay.
Dimitria's reading like Moon magazine, waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah, I'll go like back with Dmitria and we'll like give them like a little bit of like a tour, but like I'll be like, I know that there's supposed to be like a replica of like a very powerful wand here, so I could take Dmitria to go see it. And Jakartha.
Okay.
Pouring the cleric and the paladin around the temple.
Jakarther's unarmed and just in casual clothes. He'll do some exploring.
Using cargo shorts.
I don't know if they have cargo shorts back then.
Fantasy cargo shorts.
They're like those Final Fantasy.
Shorts of holding.
Yeah,
Those,
Oh my god. Big pockets.
those Kingdom Hearts shorts, like
Yeah,
those
the
fucking
Kingdom
big
Hearts.
ass Kingdom
Massive.
Hearts.
Oh, please.
He's got a fat gut as well, so normally it's kind of hidden by the chainmail, but it's all there this time.
He's rocking some dad sneakers.
Like he's literally just Santa all the time. Every time you like describe him, he's like Santa character. It's awesome. He needs some red cargo shorts.
She also, by the way, pays you your other half, so everyone has 100 gold coins total from that mission each.
Boom.
So, okay, we're just gonna convert
Wait,
this.
How much?
Oh, it was 100 gold coins a person for the So not 100 on top of that 50 that he paid you. 100
The
total.
rest of the 50.
But
okay.
yeah, the rest. So it was. She
Nice.
gave you another 50.
So hey,
each.
we're 1/4 of the way to breastplates. We just got to do this 4 more times.
Dempy's
See,
like,
that-
I can afford that because I never gave money to the homeless.
You never give all the money away at those docks either.
That's why you choose starting
No
equipment and you
excuses.
choose 2 hand crossbows because you can sell each one for 75 gold.
So Amnon
Jameson, you're
approached.
like, no, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you said.
Well, because who here has played Dragon Age Origins? Because when you've played Dragon Age
been a
Origins a
while.
couple of times, once you go to the joining, you know, the 2 NPCs that you take with you, they die at the joining. So you take all their shit and force them to go through the cutscene in like their thongs and no
Oh
armor,
my god!
no weapons. They're like completely in their underwear going through this cutscene because you can sell their armor after the joining and get a lot of money.
That's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Once you, yeah, that's like on the replay where you're like, I don't care about the
I love how the
cutscenes, I'm here to
cutscene
win.
accounts for the clothing.
Yeah.
Cutscene.
But not for the fact that they're just completely dead. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What next?
Well, Amnon was approaching the priestess,
Mm.
and so Amnon's just gonna have this really just ashamed look on his face, and I'm just gonna kind of just look at the priest from the corner of my eye a bit, and I'm gonna hold out my staff, and it's just gonna be a long, dark wooden staff with a bunch of infernal ruins carved into it, and I'll be like, "Good evening. I have a pretty large problem that I don't see any way of getting out of. I've had many worries in my life, and these people are out here are now who I'm worried about, and I think I might have hurt them eventually if I continue down my path. Do you recognize anything strange about my staff?"
I am better with things that, as Ravi gave me, I may be able to help, but I cannot guarantee. She says, "May I?" And she wants to take it from you. And
Yeah.
she kind of, she jumps at the touch, almost as if she was shocked by it. And then she grabs it and kind of closes her eyes. Seems to commune for a moment. And she opens her eyes and she hands it back. While I don't sense much darkness in you, I do sense much darkness in the staff. I am seeing that you are tied in some way. I imagine
Staff came to me. Oh, I was the staff came to me when I was a child, but I just recently tied my my soul to this, and I am trying to break it.
You have made a mistake, Dragonborn.
At this rate, I will not see my family when I die, and that is what I want to do. Even if I die doing this, I get to see them.
That I cannot see. It is cloudy. I am not gifted with. I'm not simply a fortune teller. I am kind of based on feeling. I do believe, though, we do understand here in the temple that, like Salune, she will always persevere, and therefore there is always a way to fight back against darkness. There's always a way to overcome your shortcomings in the past. So the staff seems to have found you at a moment of weakness. you must make sure that your every step from this point forward is pointed and is righteous. For one misstep, for one murder that is not justice and is vengeance or revenge, it could mean your doom. You must sever these ties, and unfortunately that I do not know how to do.
It comes with written word. Once we get back, I'm gonna read this paperwork. I hope there's some insight, but thank you for your words.
You have paperwork on this?
I do. So
Yeah.
it's from the pocket dimension that I usually put the imp in.
She looks at it momentarily. She goes, "Oh, this is a type of inferno that is age old. Maybe even before this is the kind of language used before the Blood Wars. I would go home and do what you can." She kind of hands it back to you, almost like she wants to get out of her hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it disappear right there.
Yeah, she goes. But I do believe you can spend time and possibly uncover something there.
I'm gonna just bow and just thank you. I'm gonna just have my head down. I'm gonna walk back towards the group, and I'll be crying just a little bit.
If there's nothing more to do here, you guys are welcome to leave. You do feel a bit inspired, so if you don't already have an inspiration point, you may add one to your character sheet.
I'll say just one more thing happens as I'm showing Dmitria that it just looks like a giant mace, but it has each of the little things on the top of it each look like the phases of the moon. But he kind of goes up to him, and to him it looks like it glows as he takes his first level in cleric.
Oh yeah,
nice cleric, sick.
That's my boy.
Cleric rogue. Very
Amnon, cool. I sent you a link, but you cannot. I would ask you not to click it yet.
Ooh, mystery link.
This is where Malcolm needs a applause switch on his soundboard. I'm so excited. I didn't know what you were going to end up choosing, like cleric or rogue, or druid. The druid was a cool idea too.
Mm-hmm. That'll all cycle. That all just depends on where he's at, how his story progresses.
Nice.
I feel like you went through together.
Yeah, I got to bring an applause in there.
I'm drowning in post-its. I won't make an applause one. I got too many post-its. I forgot I had this one. I was looking for a fresh one to make rogue shit. I forgot I had this one.
A question about that infernal language, because Machina does know infernal, and he is 436 years old.
I mean, Dmitria knows infernal too, but she had problems with it. So
she had a problem reading it as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, because of when Machina learned his infernal, and the way he learned it was through reading the Fall of Amadeus.
The thing is, I think it would be overly metagaming to go get Machina just to read it at this point.
No, he already had all this beforehand.
Right, but I don't think so far Machina hasn't been around when Amnon has produced this.
I know, so he wouldn't know it unless it was brought to him.
Right now. Yeah.
I was just wondering. I was just asking about the time wise. Would 436 years old be old enough for it even?
I won't share that unless it's tried.
I don't think. Well, okay. Here's not to step in the fact that I'm here at grad school studying 17th century literature.
Yeah.
The English of the 1600s is eminently readable compared to the English of the 1400s. So just 400 years back, super readable. If we're talking, this is Canterbury Tales, that's way older than 400 years. Not way older, but older than 400 years. You had to pull out the 400 exactly. And I'm hold on a second. I know what English was 400 years ago. eminently readable, versus Canterbury Tales, which was more German than English.
Oh, I can read out Old English.
Well, I'm not top.
The way I look at it is I think there's Infernal, and I think there are ancient versions of these languages that I think that even the average, even with 400 years, you can go back far enough to where I don't think where you would understand what you're reading. You might understand portions or parts.
And then of that ancient form of Infernal, this is a contract that's written like those Nigerian prince emails. So the grammar is also just very bad on its own.
Could be.
I need your soul to help me.
Amnon just trying to help him out. That's cool.
Dimitria's
Yeah, I
been trying. That's
know
been Dimitria's homework
Abyssal,
assignment.
Infernal, and Undercommon for Machina.
Well,
Yeah.
Amnon will be like kind of catching up to Demetria and not try to say this just to her, but like so that way just everybody could kind of hear, And I'm gonna be like, I think I have a plan for my contract.
Hey, I like plans. I mean, I've been trying to work on it, but what do you think?
I've been learning a lot from Machina lately, and I've been trying to modify the staff to feel a little bit more of inside of it, but I think I have a way of using magic to comprehend this contract. Once we get back home,
makes sense, right? You've been tinkering at all this stuff instead of coming at it from the terms and conditions. You're coming at it from the hardware. I like it.
Thank you. Well, anyway, once we get back home, I want to sit in my room and read this thing. And I also want to you guys to know that if we go after this and it bites back, you guys have to kill me.
I don't know, Amnon. I'm sure there's something we can do.
Yeah, like there's only one of that bastard, and there's a shit ton of us, right?
One devil, yeah. But let's see what this contract says first. But I want that to be the backup plan, and I want you guys to promise me you're going to do it.
Burrfoot totally gives you the Bear Grylls slow nod.
Burrfoot.
Say anything.
I'm gonna give Burrfoot a fist bump.
Eldricon is like walking down the stairs, like rubbing his eyes, like in the middle of the afternoon. You guys are having this conversation. Amnon, what the fuck?
Eldricon, you know what I am, and you know what can happen.
You can't tell us just to kill you.
If this continues and I'm influenced and I do something to hurt any of you, when I not become myself because of this damn staff, I'll throw the staff on the floor.
Then we just knock you out. Just knock you out.
We can always like imprison you in a gem. I've heard of people doing that.
Can you do that right now?
No.
No, but we can knock you out.
Knock you the hell out. We can knock you out.
Hey, Machina came back, right? I'm sure we can find a way to get you back too, Amnon.
Right?
Okay, well, I read a book about this other world where this lion kept getting knocked in the head when he was under something, and it didn't work then. So let's
yeah,
I'm sure
Amnon,
we'll
that was a
find
book.
way,
This is real life.
yeah.
Amnon, sometimes I get the impression that you just want to die. You have like a death mission.
When you have seen the things we have, that is very true.
Now we've got to kill Jakarta too. Great. No. Look, Amnon Doc, right? You're asking for our help in solving this problem, right? It's your problem. We're friends. Catch me if I'm speaking for anyone, but we're friends. This is your problem, but your problems are our problems. You want to solve it the way you want to solve it, but I think all of us have our own solutions that are acceptable. right? And at least speaking personally, killing you is not an acceptable solution to the problem. I can promise that I'll try and mitigate any harm that you might do to us or others. And I'll be honest with you, man, right? Like, there's a lot of awful shit you could do to me. There's a lot of awful shit you can do to all of us, but I'll know that it's not you, right? Like, you're still our friend.
Yeah. As y'all are having this conversation, MacArthur's kind of packing up his stuff, getting ready to leave.
Hey, no, I was kidding about killing you, man.
So we're back at the house now. We're back at Troll Skull,
Yeah.
and as he's doing that, as you guys are having this, I imagine maybe in the tap room, Ravi, you noticed that on the front porch, probably came early that morning, but like got thrown into a corner the morning the Gazette front page, the spectacular spread of a moving image of the lady and Lord Castellanter standing on the threshold of their beautiful villa with the announcement that their party has been announced and will be coming up in 3 days' time, and that anyone and everyone that are anybody in all of Waterdeep will be there.
Oh, looks like we got a party. I'm gonna bring it inside and just kind of thump it on the table and be like, "We got a party to go to. Look, invitation right here."
There's no invitation. It's just in the newspaper.
No, I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
they're like anybody's gonna be there, and
I
I'm like,
mean, right?
this
We've
is
got
a-
our outfits from the opera. Do we think that the Harpers are gonna get us in, or?
They better.
Okay. Okay, so that's in 3 days. We got that in 3 days. We've got your sword. We got paid. Did we end up? Let me take out my diary. I'm holding on to it for you, buddy. It's separate in my inventory. And it really is. Checking my notebook for when I wasn't here. Did we end up doing that exorcism for the old lady that Eltricon wanted to do?
Oh yeah, Eltricon, didn't you you had that book you were talking about.
Malcolm, that slight grin that happened as soon as she mentioned it.
That shit too. I was like, ooh, he got rid of that shit so fast.
I mean, okay, like, yeah, Eldricon is interested. Travis is now phobic of that whole situation. But yes, Eldricon is fucking interested.
Right, so we have that to do. We have 3 days until this party, which it sounds like we want to go to figure things out. I know Tempe is upstairs cleaning up my mess, but I don't know. Would you guys be cool with, like, after the exorcism thing, assuming we all live, would you guys be cool heading back to that windmill with me? I mean, it sounds like my buddy Astro hasn't shown up, but I don't know. I don't feel right just leaving things unhandled for the 3 days. We don't need to go right away, but I'm just saying, if we're adding up a laundry list of the long weekend, I'd like that to be on the docket.
If
You're
yours
gonna place a
is,
hand on your shoulder and be like, "No."
Okay, we got one no.
if yours is more urgent, I mean, the dead isn't going anywhere.
Burrfoot
I don't know, it sounds like right. Would this exorcism help that lady? If it's gonna help that lady, I'd rather help her before I help myself, you know?
Carlton's
It
gonna
doesn't
reach into his bag and pull out 2 flasks and be like, "This is my parting gift to you all. Some holy water that I've had."
Oh.
And he's gonna hold it out
Is
for.
Is it alcoholic holy water or fire Everclear, or is it actual water, bro? Because I've seen what you drink. I see what you drink out of these things.
Actual holy water.
Oh. Well, in that case, actual thank you. I'm gonna tuck it away.
Parting gift, you said?
Yes.
Where are you off to?
I'm heading home
Where's home?
to the far north, near Neverwinter.
Well, I mean, man, I wish I could say it's been fun, but there's been an awful lot of dead people involved, so it's been all right.
Yes. I
I'm
came to
gonna-
do a job at the request of Amnon. I believe that job has been fulfilled, and I've been far from home for over a month.
Amnon's gonna walk over to Carther and just like really warmly throw out his hand to shake his. Thank you so much for coming. You have no idea how much you've helped us.
And you have helped me. I can retire easily. Security.
And then say hello to your family for me, please.
I shall. You're gonna shake hands, and kind of how homeless people have like their bindle on the end of a stick. That's kind of how Jakartha has his stuff just on the end of his halberd.
Oh, nice.
He shudders.
So good.
Amnon's now gonna kind of try to just walk off casually, but he's gonna grab Burr's elbow and pull her without anybody trying not to let anybody see.
Leaning down over to grab the little rabbit's elbow.
There, yeah. So it's like almost like a crawl.
If I don't see you coming instinctively, she's gonna like be crazy. A heads up.
I'll jump back and I just please come. I'll say it telepathically.
Oh, okay. All right.
That way you're more familiar with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll come.
And then in my shop, I'm gonna summon the contract.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn to Burr. I'm gonna be like, I'm counting on you. And so I'm gonna cast a comprehend language on the contract.
Okay. And is this a spell or is this a device that you've created? So I can understand, is this the artificer side or is this Amnon connected to this?
No, so this is actually my artificer side.
Okay.
And so basically what it's gonna be is it's like you can see it in the background. So like I have like these kind of goggles that I use to shield my eyes, but I picture Amnon if he putting like a different like shard in the side, and it flips like a lens in there.
Okay. And so as he puts a little in the kind of glow and he begins to look over the information. And as he does, strangely, the imagery starts to come together. Only a few segments of the contract seem to be missing exact like wording or names. But Amnon, you may open what I sent you. You may share it, or you may read it out loud, or you may, if you want to share like a screenshot or a screen image of it, I can give you access to share, or I can share it, or you can just read it to yourself right now. It is up to you how you want to.
Well, I'm just gonna be. Amnon's just in wonder that he's able to even read even a little bit, so he's speechless. But he's gonna go once he starts to read it. But I'll still be speechless. But I mean, if I figure Burr's gonna be looking over my shoulder.
Sure.
So so she would be able to read it, and I mean, until I get back with everybody else or somebody else comes in through the door, then they can just see it.
So is it like you changed the actual verbiage, or do I have to wear those cool crazy goggles or whatever it is?
Yeah, no, you're so because this is from my artificer side, you're gonna have to wear the goggles for it to work.
Okay, that's what I was hoping for.
So I mean, yeah, so I figure you'd be stealing them at any point now.
100%. I'm really excited to think of Burrfoot wearing his crazy artificer.
You each get one lens. You guys are sharing
with the one lens.
Yeah, we're just like clapped together reading it. Okay, so I picture her and I will just be reading this thing, and Malcolm, are you going to share it with her?
Yes.
Or all right, cool.
Why don't I keep it with you, and I will just. Would you like me to just read it, or yeah? Then that means Burr, because I give it to you because it's your contract. So now, but I can give Burr a copy of it. Yeah, let's see.
I don't know. I figured just eventually everyone's gonna know what it says. I'm gonna show everybody eventually. So if we just want to skip that, Then we just give to everybody. And then, so you know what I'll do? After I read it just a little bit, I'm going to just let Burr hold the goggles, and I'm going to bust open my door, and I'm just going to yell to everybody, come, quick!
There may be some if I find any typos, I'm terrible with those. I probably have some typos in here that if they change something as they're not supposed to be, I will correct them. But as of right now, yeah, I will share it when I find it again here. Where did I put it?
So is it good or bad, Amnon?
Yeah, shouting like that, we bust in with like our weapons out. Come on, we'll bust in.
Yeah.
By the way, Machina currently doesn't have a weapon.
Well, I'm gonna look over at Dmitria, and I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna pat my. Where's my? I'm gonna look over at Burr and make, give me those, and I'm gonna grab them back from Burr, and I'm gonna throw them so you can catch them. I'm gonna be like, look, and then I'm gonna hold up the contracts so you can see and read them.
You totally
imagine Dimitria's eyes get really magnified.
Yeah.
Take a look
And
at.
so for those that may be watching I won't read the whole thing, but it begins as this infernal contract is lawful and binding only to the terms and conditions agreed upon by the parties involved. The party of the first, a red Abishai, name not given, and the party of the second, Amnon Fairfax, will be negotiating this contract in order to provide the following services. Services rendered upon the conclusion of and signing of this infernal contract: access to great power and spells, immortality upon building your level to a power level beyond 10, full restoration of your family upon satisfactory completion of time served. Every orc that has pained you shall be delivered unto you, even back unto life, if now dead. They will be yours to torture, maim, murder, or kill in the name of vengeance. This can be provided by the party of the first for a price stated after the exchange of services from the party of the second. And it goes on and on and on.
I'll be reading it silently to myself right now. Don't mind me.
So we do.
Thank you.
Did we all get a chance to see this?
Yeah,
basically,
you'll all
point?
have a copy of it to review amongst yourselves at your leisure, and that could count as the time as Amnon eventually passes it around over the next maybe couple hours.
Can I have a really quick giggle at this day of 666 of Ernest time? So we can go really quick about that.
Oh God. I, the player, gave up halfway through. I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
No, I'm reading because this is concerning. This is concerning lore here. I am very fascinated. Demetria is not, because she's not a reader, but I, Cheryl, am very fascinated by this. Okay.
Should we take a 5-minute break here to refill your drinks, use restroom? You guys can continue to read over this and we'll pick back up when we get back. Good.
Question though, is Volo's Guide to Monsters book in that library that we got?
It was not originally. It's supposed to be eventually coming. You guys have it. I think he told you a week out. It's still it's been less than a week so far. I think I tracked everything we've done. I think it's like day 4 in Waterdeep.
We sped run this friendship.
Like you guys have been here.
It's like when you meet a girl at the club, right? And you're all together. You meet in the bathroom, and then you're best friends for 24 hours. Then you forget each other.
I mean, especially after you kill monsters together for the last 3 days, you kind of join. You kind of link up pretty quick after you have to these people have saved your lives a couple times in the past few days, so it makes sense.
Whatever books were in the library already, Machina has spent the entire time reading them since he's been there.
Okay, so we have gone and gotten Machina, so that would push time forward, because who would have gone with Machina? I guess Machina just comes back home once he's restored. So we're going to say several hours have passed for this, so that Machina arrives, and it's probably that day, right after Jakartha leaves, a few hours pass. So it's maybe starting to get towards the end of the day. So maybe around 6 p.m. when Machina arrives back.
Okay, I am very concerned about the presence of Strahd in this.
Yeah,
Very,
shit.
very
I just saw that. The hell?
So far, it's talking about
Oh, I may.
Amnon. We need to be very careful with whatever you do with this contract because there's a lot of shit in here for if you void your side of it that will not be fun to deal with.
Oh wait. Oh, this might not. Wait, is this the one I changed? Hold on.
Infernal contract.
Strahd should not be in this one. Let me see.
Okay.
Strahd is in this one.
Okay, I gotta
Strahd is
scratch. I will change that. It is
Okay.
not supposed. It is should
Demetria
be.
is like squinting through the glasses, like, hold on.
I told you
Now-
there's gonna be something that I
Now
left in here
curious.
that
Now
doesn't need to go
curious
under
who it
this
should be.
contract.
Big
May
reveal.
serve your master upon call by your own free will. This may require, but be not limited to, entire section unrecognizable. The only entity within the Nine Hells may actually nullify or destroy all said contracts and privileges of the Lord of the Nine Hells of Bator Asmodeus. In the unlikely event that the current Lord of the Nine Hells is unseated, this ability will continue to be active with the power of the new Lord of the Nine Hells in perpetuity, unless an arcane magic is able to open a portal to the void and dissociate or completely devour the Nine Hells from any of the multiple doorways that wish to enter them. This power must be completed within the second day that said written contract is enacted. Okay, now and before a new Lord of the Nine Hells of Bator is crowned, in the event that a second blood war occurs and causes the cancellation of any and all coronation activities in the Nine Hells, the subspace doorway to a demi-plane, oh shit, demi, will be created in order to keep said contract active.
Nuts.
Coronation. So we need to get crowned King of the Nine Hells like yesterday. That should get added to the to-do list for this long weekend.
Oh,
Failure to adhere to
in
said contract or
section-
ability to provide and set upon agreed collateral by party of the second to the party of the first will result in, but not limited to, under corpus juris inferno, the death of
Under
conjuration of fellowships and etc. The sending of an infernal bounty team, of which the current lord will choose no later than the micro send in which a felt or presumed breach of contract may occur. So I have ideas. Dmitria doesn't have ideas. I, Cheryl, have ideas. I miss Aramis because then I could put those ideas into the game, but I can't because Dmitria wouldn't think like this. But
typo in section delta of the services rendered. There's a capital TH for they, and then
that's how they do it in Infernal.
and then main, not maim.
No, they grow a great head of hair.
That's not even the right main for that either. That's like,
They become the main character.
I guess, yeah.
Comrade. Okay, so I think that's this is probably something. So that's probably Amnon. Okay, so we need to either A, get crowned King of the Nine Hells, which I imagine will be difficult. B, we need to somehow destroy all of the entryways into the Nine Hells, difficult. Or C, we find some way to make it so that your patron doesn't follow through their agreements on the contract. So then it's voided from their end. Because voiding it from your end gets us destroyed by an infernal bounty team, which does not sound fun. Or hell ships. Or the death of a loved one, which, considering that we're all friends now, puts all of us on the chopping block, which I don't enjoy at all. How many, you're muted. You have any living relatives, Amnon? Do you have anyone living who you love that isn't us? No? Thought so, okay.
Can you
No,
find some?
Oh no, you just need to declare Lith, our ghost buddy, as your most beloved friend.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Oh,
This is scary.
yeah. I'm gonna have to have my wife read this. I think just so I can understand it.
There's a lot going on.
we need to find a real lawyer and bring them into our D&D.
Wasn't it? So, oh no, because you weren't there, Ohan. The very first game that we played, Minds of Phandelver, in person, there was another guy there who I feel is, I should remember his name, but I don't. But his character was a paladin, but his thing was he was a paladin of the law. And that was like his oath or something like that. He was a lawyer who was a paladin or a cleric or something like that. We need him. We need
That's
the
funny.
ultimate throwback to the pilot episode of Minds of Phandelver. Oh man. Ugh, okay.
I hate that it's written in red text. That's killing my eyeballs right now.
Just
Everyone
give
likes-
Makina a law book and he'll read it a couple times and then get it.
Sounds like we need a couple of law books, free bud. We need an infernal law book because this is a lot of
Mm.
infernal, devilish stuff. Like there's okay, I guess my plan sounds like my plan also won't really work because the way that it's worded, service is rendered upon the conclusion and signing of the infernal contract. Access to great power and spells, immortality, restoration of your family, every orc ending up on the rack. This all sounds like it's been like purposefully, and this is definitely what happened, but it sounds like it's been perfectly like constructed that you don't get the bulk of these things until you're dead. Like, so it's not going to be easy to try and get them to void their end of things because so much of it requires you to be dead. What if we fake your death like really well?
Well, part of the
They're
powers is
fake death
immortality, therefore he cannot
past
die.
level 10. So we have until level 10 to fake your
Oh.
death.
Yeah.
To what, my death?
Fake your death.
To fake it?
Because if you fake your death, then they have to pay out all these things, and once all these things are paid out, the contract's void. What am I taking that? I think I'm taking that from a book or a movie where it's in order to get out of, you like fake someone's death. Is that a book? My memory is vaguely telling me that this is stolen from a book.
Don't worry, Machina is smart, but robot logic smart, not devise things smart.
What if we legally change Amnon's name?
Well, because no, if we change it legally, then that means that it applies to everything you've already.
What if we change it illegally?
Like whiteout.
Give him a split personality, where the split personality is a separate entity.
We ship of Theseus him.
Ship of Theseus Amnon. Well, I don't know, Devil. Is it the same Amnon or a different Amnon? At what point do we replace enough of his limbs in order to make a different Amnon?
Create him a warforged body.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you like
Straight up
slowly
flesh
replace...
golem Amnon. And he really will be dead at some point. Like, oh man.
Oh man, that's what one of my previous clerics did. We had a NPC that we captured as a slave named Todd.
Not good.
And
Not a good start to the story. Not a good start to the story.
So he was supposed to completely murder us all because
you enslaved him.
Yeah, in in 4th edition, there's an ability called Dance of the Knife that enemies can get where they get to attack twice, and we were only like level 3. So we managed to cut off one of his arms and capture him. So then I was a artificer cleric, and so I built him a robotic arm. So then he was at full capacity, but we pretty much enslaved him after that. And then we got attacked by a dragon on a boat, and he decapitated it with 2 daggers after the entire fight was done. And to try kill off this NPC because it was too strong, the DM was like, all right, he gets covered in the acid blood. I was like, I roll a medicine check to save his life, and I rolled a nat 20. And she's like, all right, how are you going to save him? I'm like, I'm going to infuse dragon scales into grafted onto the skin that is missing. So then he had acid resistance, and pretty much by the end of the campaign, he was a monstrosity. Like, he lost a leg that got replaced with tentacles.
He's like, kill me,
Yeah.
end my suffering.
Pretty much. We grafted demon wings onto his back. Like,
You're Frankenstein.
yeah.
Oh, this contract.
Oh, Malcolm, I sent you a private message in the Zoom chat.
Okay. Yeah, let me take a look.
Check your email, Malcolm. No.
I sent it to you on Google Drive, so you're just gonna have to go find it.
When
Amnon.
Machina comes back, he's just gonna be like, I require a sword for peak efficiency in combat.
Well, I got a
We don't have any
scythe.
sword.
Yeah, I have a scythe.
I mean, if it's a dex weapon,
I think, actually, no, I don't think it is.
My
It's just a
light
light
collection
weapon.
grows.
or it has to be a one-handed weapon.
Yeah, it's a one-handed
yeah.
weapon.
Oh no, a scythe. Scythe?
Scythe.
You mean a sickle?
Sickle,
Sickle.
sorry, sickle. Sickle,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a sickle. Then yeah, I don't need it.
We're not gonna start farming anytime soon.
Yeah.
We buy a farm.
No, we have enough real estate. We can't
Yeah,
unless this is built up to rent out.
Yeah, Machina is just gonna look at the sickle and be like, "Do you want me to farm?"
It's like no, we'll get you a proper sword soon. Let's see.
Then for now, my body will suffice.
Yeah. Dmitria, do you still have his gold?
I do still have his gold, and I still have his drink coin, and I think I don't have his monocle anymore. I gave him the monocle, and
Nah,
then
I'm
it
pretty
got
sure the
popped
monocle
out.
got stolen.
Damn. Well, yeah, I have 6 gold for you, buddy. Here you go. You don't have any pockets still, so if you ever need to spend
Well,
gold on something, I've got 6 gold with your name on it.
It's about
Bank of Dmitria.
6 p.m. Later in the day, and yeah, you guys now have uncovered this strange, overly convoluted, crazy, contract that it seems that Amnon has signed. Maybe there's others who can help within the city. Maybe you guys have already started to formulate some ideas on how you might be able to break this, as well as the many other things that are on your plate. So I turn it back over to you all.
Seance,
You want it?
right?
Yeah, do we want to do that, or I don't know. I proposed the idea, but are you still
Burrfoot
down to the Elchcon, or are you too hungover?
Yeah. You still
Sounds like you had fun last night, but
So,
yes. Hair of the dog that bit you. Hair of the dog that bit you. I'm gonna pass him a drink. Pass him a Bloody Mary.
oh, thank you. And he drinks it like probably a little faster than he should, just to kill that fucking horrible feeling.
You have to eat the celery. Unfortunately, the greenery really does help.
Part of the deal.
The vegetable. You eat your vegetables.
Of course, if your task has urgency, we should perform it. Do you want dinner first, or do we just go?
I mean, I
I
can do
feel like
dinner,
it's like
but
lunchtime right now, and we're like,
Oh,
Oh, is
yeah.
it lunchtime?
no,
It's
it's
a-
6 p.m.
Dinner time.
oh, okay, it is dinner
I
time.
pushed this forward to 6 because I imagine everybody looking over that contract probably took a few hours of the day. In addition to
Ravi,
just kind of
Ravi gave
lounging
up
around
trying
and
to
relaxing.
read that
Yeah.
contract, and he went upstairs. He's making a nice gumbo, nice vegetarian gumbo,
Nice.
Shit.
some sourdough
A
bread
ton of
rolls.
okra. She's have okra.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sourdough. We're making sourdough. That's how domesticated we are.
I brought this with me from my hometown.
Starter.
Yeah.
Just been in your pocket this whole time.
Fermenting.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I mean, it's like urgent, I think, but it was urgent when me and Tempe went, but she wasn't there, so we might be making a long walk over just to say hi to the squatters. But I don't know,
Let us
maybe
do.
what's that?
Let us do. Let us go.
Well, Eldricon, I mean, I don't know. You're a betting man. What do you think? What do you think is a better option?
DM, would you allow me to use that gambler feature?
Sure. What does it do? Tell me about the feature.
Oh,
I don't even think I know it off right now.
No, I hear you. I think it's in.
Rewatching the videos is the only thing that's keeping me in this game.
I just remember that ability because I'm jealous that I didn't have it for Aramis. It's like your ability to hedge bets, right? Like you get to think about what.
Yep, exactly. The feature is called Never Tell Me the Odds, and just says odds and probability are your bread and butter. During downtime activities that involve games of chance or figuring odds on the best plan of action, you can get a solid sense of which choice is likely to be the best one and which opportunities seem too good to be true. Of course, at the DM's determination.
Got it. So there's no check that needs to be made. It's just kind of you just DM interprets it and gives you information on it. Sounds
And
like
then also just metagaming blanket statement. I'm totally cool with also doing the seance first. I was just proposing shit to Phil so that we can get some stuff crossed off the list before we go to this party.
No, I hear you. And just, yeah, on a meta level as well, I think I'm more into going and doing the windmill than even the seance. Like, just because
Eldracon's changed. Eldracon's he's
I
had
know,
some
dude.
experience
That's
with
the
that.
hard thing, is that he would absolutely like lust after that power and he would be into it. And I'm having a hard time pushing my character through what he would do instead of
I mean,
what
he's
I wanna
become
do.
buddy with Ravi now. He's softened a bit.
Yeah. Also, characters always shift like once you start playing them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's probably also seen Amnon's contract of power. He's like, ooh, do I want to do that?
Yes, these are all great justifications. I love it.
Good point.
But anyways, yeah.
So I think the most reasonable thing as he looks at the odds is that, you know, they have gone to a little old lady's house to exercise a spirit that turned into a pretty nasty fight with just one otherworldly, spirit being. And he does imagine that if there is the power that he thinks is in this book, who knows if there are fail-safes or who knows what danger might be involved in that seance. Whatever's involved with Dmitria seems to be at least a quick check-in. She's already done this once before. That seems to be the easiest thing to cross off the list, I'll say.
He just taps his chin and says, "We go do your first."
I won't argue. You know, I appreciate the help. So also, like, right, I've told Tempe about this. I've told the kid about this, kind of, right? Like, Kataya and I used to like hang out together in a certain way. So I'd kind of appreciate, right, if she is there when we go. She might not be, but if she is there when we go, maybe like kind of leaving her to me, you know, at least for a discussion I'm hoping to have with her. Yeah.
Give her your space.
I have a question.
Until she probably tries to kill me, in which case totally take up space. But
Okay. That's interesting relationship you got there.
Hindsight is 2020. And you know, when you're young and you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I'm not still young and stupid, but I was younger and stupider. So
How does one
been
acquire
there.
hindsight?
Hmm?
How does one acquire hindsight? This seems useful.
hindsight is kind of when you're able to look back on the shit you did with enough distance to realize that the shit you did was done for the wrong reason. That's an awful definition of hindsight. That's how hindsight works for me. I don't know how it would work for you. It's like you're like, what, like 1,000 fucking years old? Stuff was different back then. They thought it was fine back then. But now, looking back, you know that it was actually wrong. The justification changes, or the justification goes away, right?
Okay, so walk far away and turn around and look back.
Exactly. Thank you, Makina. Glad to have you back.
Simple and right to the point. That's why I missed
Yep.
you.
It's a bit of perspective, really, that I think I missed.
So just
Burrfoot
checking.
just packing stuff up.
Like, damn it, she didn't even get the Ouija board out. Just the planche goes back away. She's like, extreme disappointment on her face.
Is it like a little one, like fit to her little paws?
Oh, hell yeah. But it's big enough to where like Grom and I can share. Just put that in the community. He's pretty connected to the spirit world, so. And she was like about to go ask Leaf about it, but like he's disappointed. Slumped shoulders.
Dmitria, I'll be right by your side. Just, I hope you keep that in mind when you're passing out gold next time. But I'm
by
right
my
there.
side, right by my
I'll be right
side,
there.
half a step behind me so I can shield you, you know.
Hey, if you need my help, I'm there.
All right. Well, if you guys are ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Burrfoot's gonna like put a finger up to Dmitria and be like, so just to be clear, are we killing people or are we not killing people?
We are
Like
not
dead
killing.
serious.
Okay, dead serious.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to kill her
Okay.
because her death belongs to someone else, and that's none of us. Okay.
You just give me a thumbs up if that changes.
All right, I'll let you know that the key word for start killing is pancake. Okay, if I say pancake, you can start going for the juggler. Got it?
Deal.
What are
is
the acceptable
pancakes?
level of casualties?
Right? What is pancakes in this world? It's a good word for this world.
I just mashed some sounds together. Who knows what it means? We'll figure it out
I-
later.
I think
Ravi begins
pancakes.
explaining what a pancake is.
International House of Spirit Pancakes.
Somebody mentioned making pancakes early on in this, so
Yeah, we
there
make
must be
breakfast all the
something.
time.
You guys have been
So
talking
we had,
about making those.
mushroom
Eldercon
eggs.
knows what pancakes are.
Pancake, a
Eldricon
pastry
in-
made in a pan and cooked on a
in
stove
the canon, Eldricon knows what a pancake is. That needs to go in your
Oh.
character sheet. Eldricon knows what a pancake is.
Description knows what a pancake is.
Robbie's gonna use Machina now as like a Kindle.
That is how I built him.
Perfect. We're
He
uncovering
has
his
all
true
this knowledge,
usage.
but none of the common sense to use it.
I'm gonna be
All
like
intelligence and low
Machina access recipe books circa 1463.
So it is still the fall, and you know the wind kind of picks up at night, or it gets a little bit crisp, and the walk, because of it's the fall, the sun sets a little bit earlier, and so it's almost nightfall when you get there. The sun is literally right there on the horizon, setting. The similar to what you're used to whenever you cross over into these parts of this war, the South Ward is, you know, you see a lot of poverty on the streets. You see a lot of people struggling. For Dmitria, she knows all too well what this is like from her past. And you approach that old, dilapidated windmill that is out of use, and instead, mostly squatters and people have taken up residence inside. You do see a few kids, a couple of, kids playing outside, and you see Astro kind of, and they are kind of, you're it, and they're like tagging each other, kind of playing a game of tag. And he stops and he sees you, and he stops and waves.
I don't think I want to interrupt him if he's playing around. Just kind of give him a wave and
He kind of goes back, and he just kind of goes back, and somebody, like, because he got distracted, somebody tags him. I'm like, you're it now, Astro. And he's like, I'm gonna get you. And he kind of goes running off. As you approach the archway, you see a couple of stragglers who kind of look up at you with weary faces, and just kind of soot-covered faces and dour, sad eyes. No one seems to pay too much attention to you all.
Dmitria is going to turn to Elric really quick, and she's going to kind of make a gesture like, don't worry, this is coming out of my cut. And she's going to start giving out gold coins to people.
Oh, nice.
And
How much did you give?
thank you.
Probably like a gold coin to each.
Oh, you give it to the kids. Okay.
The kids,
To the stragglers.
the stragglers.
stragglers,
Yeah,
sorry.
so they
To the squatters.
Gotcha.
bless you. You hear like, Lathander, may the light bless you. Thank you. And as you continue on, you find yourself
Give
in
some
those,
from my cut too.
those dark, kind of really slender, kind of claustrophobic halls. And you start to descend that kind of winding. Actually, where do you plan to go? I know that when you came before, you and Tempe had gone to the room that you used to stay in, right? Door was firmly locked. Is that the approach, or since we're okay?
Just walking through, not really making it a secret, but kind of handing out more gold to everyone who's in there as we go.
Yeah. And in that moment, there's just a lot of nodding and thank you and kind of reverence, and in whatever ways they can show. A few people bite the coins to make sure they're real, seeing such Some people kind of take the coins and snatch them and step back into the shadows, hoping that this isn't some kind of like cruel hoax or joke. Seeing that you all are weapon, making sure that it is an act of giving. And so
I'm gonna do a silent prayer just to be like, to ask Selene to watch over them as she watched over me when I was young and on my own.
And you feel, while you don't hear any audible response, you're feeling very connected to your prayers, as though you know that Selene is hearing them. You feel like you have that power and that presence backing you. You find your way on that third floor, and maybe 15 feet away stands that very sturdy new wooden door that's been installed. It is it leads to what used to be a secure apartment that really was just a place that Dmitria's crew hung at some point. Who knows what lies beyond the door? No one's in the halls. It's quiet.
If I put my ear to the door, do I hear anything?
Kind of a perception check.
I give her the help action with my awesome ears.
Yes, you may.
All right.
Also, really attentively listening for the word pancake.
Burr is hungry for that pancake. Holy shit, that was awful. Those are both 4s. So, or no, one was a 5, but with a -1, so 5. That was all. Okay, fuck D&D Beyond. Where are my dice? Okay, continue. I'm getting my dice.
It is very silent inside. Quiet like before. Not hearing anything. You hear the light, like a shuffle, suddenly there's a movement, it's not clear enough for you to make out what it might be. Clearly, if someone lives here, they could simply even just be lying on the couch or moving around momentarily.
This feels dumb, but can I knock on the door?
You may.
Like a quick.
So big rap. Yeah. So you rap against the door. Another perception check at advantage.
Actually, it's where my Dmitria dice. Oh, much better. Oh, a 19 and an 18 -1. So at advantage, that's an 18.
Okay.
Fuck
So
D&D Beyond.
suddenly you hear, and then you hear a slight, like when you rapped, there was a quick jump, like quick movement, and you hear like someone backing away from the door very quickly.
Oh, kicking down the door, bashing in the door. I know it didn't work last time, but
Pancake?
no pancakes.
I'm gonna, while Dimitri's doing this, I'm gonna try to go around the side to try to surround the house, looking for any potential means of escape.
Did I hear you say at advantage, or did I imagine that?
Well, can I have Grom help her to give her advantage? She's very strong. I'm not.
Akane can help kick a door.
This is all happening very quickly, so her first check is not going to be.
Okay.
I imagine the first one is just you. No one else does it, but yeah, just Dmitria, and it's just a regular athletics. So boom, and you hear more shuffling behind the room, and you hear, and then the door does not budge.
Acknowledged. Door is enemy.
Not gonna handle this.
Now you may help each other or try to, since you guys are all trying to.
Grom's
So
gonna
I'm
help.
not
Do I find any other entrances, exits?
No, it's there's no other entrances placed on the hall. It's pretty much a dark hall with this one doorway that leads into this room. There are no.
Oh, we're
there are no
inside.
windows.
Yeah, we're
here.
in the
Oh.
windmill up top.
We're in the windmill
here.
up top, and it lies
Oh,
on
the windmill. Right. Okay.
If that's at advantage, the second athletics check is a 23.
Second one is a 23. This time,
Like mocking on Grom and Dmitria all at once.
just kind of like boom, and as you blow the doors like almost off the hinge, they snap back. You all stagger into a, because it's at the top, and there's a hall that leads to the door, and it's almost like the wall almost cuts the wall that led to this other side of the room, almost cuts the entire top of the windmill in half. So like it's a half circled room kind of in shape. There are 2 window areas. You can see that there are tons of scattered what would look like books of magic and scrolls. A lot of these parchments are stuck along the wall with strange glyphs and things drawn on them, which looks like maybe in dried blood. Diagrams of the humanoid body flayed open. There are in one corner stacks of bones. But what draws your attention immediately are the 3 bodies. One is a small gnome in a black cloak, and the other 2 look like stragglers, look like the people you saw outside. All of them, their throats slit wide open. Bright bursts of blood have just recently splattered against the walls. They seem to have been surprised. There does not look like there was much of a struggle, as where the bodies fell as quickly as they were cut. Can I have an advantage insight check from Dmitria?
Pardon.
Advantage, even with advantage. You say insight, 9.
A 9. Okay. So as you're panicking now, turn over to what's everyone doing? There are
Dmitria.
I didn't think she was into this kind of shit.
Yeah,
Mocking
Burrfoot's
old-
just
We rushing
fucking-
in.
There's a strange pentagram-like thing on the floor.
I'm gonna shift.
So Ravi begins to change.
Can I smell if anything is like very close?
Perception checks from everyone.
Yeah, I was about to say Machina was gonna scan the room and also bolster his defenses with false life.
18.
22.
14.
23.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
Perception check.
Perception.
We don't see an enemy yet, right?
15.
Dimitria's like, I thought the hardest conversation would have to do about how she's kind of my ex-girlfriend, but now I have to explain how she's kind of a necromancer.
Dirty 20.
Oh, this shit's freaky. Like, I knew it was coming because of that key, but this shit's still freaky.
So I think I got a 20. So the 23 sound like that was the highest.
Yeah, that was-
Eldricon, right?
Yep.
So
Oh yeah,
as
good point, Cheryl. Is that? Will you ask that to Malcolm? Sorry.
say that. What's that?
Yes, like, is the gnome in the black robe like the guys from the Fireball Caravan?
From the guys from the where? Say again.
The Fireball
Fireball.
Caravan, like in the street?
No, not the same. That gnome is.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
dead.
this is a
Described
different.
the same though. That was a good one.
Yeah. Very true. His
Okay,
dark robes.
Do I
seem-
get
the
I get my gold
gnome
star
on the
today?
floor's robes don't. The gnome that died in the fireball seemed very roguish in attire, leather and boots. This gnome seems his robes have little etchings and glyphs on them. It seems to be more of a spellcaster's garment.
decorative?
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yes. As while Machina is scanning the room and Burr is starting to pick up on something, kind of leading her towards it is, Eldricon, who's kind of asymmetrical, like standing in the middle of the room, looking towards the center window where the light of the moon is shining through, and out across the rooftops, at least 60 feet away, moving very quickly, is a shadowy figure.
Hold up.
Eldricon, can I have another perception check to see if you recognize anything about the figure?
Absolutely.
On the rooftop.
Oh, that's a 7.
Okay. So the figure is so Wojcon can share everyone, but someone is
Somebody's on the roof.
someone's on the roof
Running.
and they are dashing and they are like
60
leaping
feet.
from roof to roof
60
away
feet.
from here.
I cast 60 feet. I cast sleep at a 90
Okay.
foot range.
Holy
Okay.
shit. That's awesome.
All right, go ahead.
So sleep. The spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. The creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose, then range are affected in ascending order. So since there's only one, starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, it falls unconscious until the spell ends. So I need to do 5d8. That's a lot of d8s. Okay.
You can upcast it too if you.
I don't think I
more hit
can.
points. Oh,
No, because I don't have any.
Oh yeah, Pally.
As a
Pally.
paladin, I don't have any.
okay.
I'm only at first level, so
Right.
I'll cast sleep. Find some d8s. 1, 2, 4,
Badass move.
6. I took this and I was like worried about it. I didn't know whether I'd actually get to use it.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Maybe.
3, 4, 5,
But you
6,
have
7,
to beat the hit points, right?
8. Yeah, you have to beat them in order
Yeah.
for her to fall unconscious.
It's
So
gonna be tough.
So
spare
then
the d8s.
you are all actually not as far as you look from the top of the next rooftop, but you are at a slight elevated angle. It's probably a 25-foot fall to the rooftop below, and about a 15-foot gap. If you are going to chase this figure, the figure is
48.
48. All right. So what's your
48.
total?
48 is the total. I got like
Oh.
a shit ton of 8s and 7s.
48.
So if her hit points are 48 or lower, she falls unconscious.
So you see the
Or she falls
figure.
asleep. Yeah.
The figure, like, kind of like there's a little bit of boof of like puff of magic, almost like dust, almost like it looks like they run into it. They continue to run, they shake it, and they leap, diving onto the next rooftop. They slam on their side, tuck, like roll, come up, and look back, and you see the ears go up over and even from that distance, you can kind of see the glimmer of her cat-like eyes, and like the shining of one gold fang, and then she takes off running.
Ugh.
She is
Holy
still up.
shit.
So how
Holy
far away is she
shit.
now?
She is outside of the 60-foot range. So now if you do chase her, or this would be a skill challenge where this is a chase challenge where you all would have to narratively tell me how you're trying to gain on her, and you'd have to use different abilities that you're proficient in or different skills.
Rogue against rogue.
And if you get enough successes before enough fails, you do catch her, or you
Okay, I
can.
didn't have a chance because I
I mean,
wrote
I don't
something,
know, because
but I want a hunter's marker.
Smart.
I mean,
That's
I can-
that's
I
only.
can-
Is that 60 feet or 90 feet? That's 90 feet.
I can increase my movement speed to.
Can you
50
hunter's mark within 90
and
feet?
I thought it was 60 feet
Yeah,
from
it
what
is,
I
the
Quinn.
90 feet. And it's concentration up to an
I
hour.
thought I thought it was 60 feet. Is it?
I could be wrong.
I'm
I
looking at
forget.
it right now. Range area 90 feet.
Oh,
90
nice.
feet?
Yeah,
Okay.
concentration up to an hour.
You get advantage on tracking her survival checks.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
And it's for an hour, so we gotta go now. So I'm gonna
I
start
can-
getting. Yeah.
I can increase my movement speed up to 50, and then if I dash, that's 100 feet in a single round.
The
I can bonus action dash and then dash as an action.
So you want me to? What's your base movement speed?
30.
30. So I can use long strider on you, and then you could move 40, so then 80. But I can also use long strider on myself along with my blade dancing, and then have a 50 movement speed, and then just dash and move 100 feet.
It will
I
not
can,
work that way.
Darn.
Whatever you do here will not work like normal. It will work like you can say you're doing that, but what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to make a check. So you're gonna have to like describe it. It's not gonna be based on just straight up movement to catch her. That's not what's happening here.
All right, Malcolm, I have an idea that I want Amnon to try. As a bonus action, he's going to sprout his gem wings, and then he is going to start casting his Eldritch Blast because it's force damage to make him go faster.
Okay.
Not try to fly, but just try to go rooftop to rooftop just try to catch up as fast as I can, because once he gets within range, I want to try and cast command, which is a 60 feet.
You are going to be able to make your first check at advantage. Against her acrobatics and speed.
Can't believe her health is over 48. That's scary as hell.
Burrfoot, as we're running together, Dmitria is going to ask you, can I do non-lethal damage?
Non-lethal. Knock her out. Just don't kill her.
And I can cure her and bring her back, but I think we need to knock her out first.
We need to knock her out first, but I need to be able to talk to her.
Monk levels, best for knocking people out.
Wait, was Amnon able to hear you guys? Because I'm like,
you're already
jumping up
gone,
ahead.
Amnon. You're
I'm gone.
You're already gone.
Yeah.
But we had this
cool.
conversation
Give
back
chase
at the
after
house, not
Amnon.
to kill her.
Yeah. Amnon did hear that part.
I'm just dashing and going as fast as I can. Grom's cruising with us. He has the same speed as me.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Amnon?
So what? I never heard what I was rolling for.
Oh, acrobatics at advantage.
At advantage. Okay, thank you.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I can do my Blade Song and Long Strider? Just get that up as I give pursuit.
And what would
17.
17. All right. So, okay. Before I describe what's happening there, you got a 17. What are you trying to do with your long strider? And just tell me more about that. What's happening here? How you would use that in this situation?
So pretty much just augmenting my speed to the max to just dash.
Okay. You can do that without using. Yeah, that's just going to give you advantage on your dash. But you will have to make the reason will have to be acrobatics checks because you're running across shingles and loose ground, and you have to make leaps constantly over short and wide gaps to close the gap with her. So
that's fine. I got a level in monk.
So Amnon, while you don't, because the wings and the way you're kind of like you're just touching the top of these rooftops as you're gliding along, you try to get close and she leaps off the top and she grabs like a clothesline and it rips and she swings down and smashes through like the second floor of like another building and you're running over the top of that building. And you now catch her leaping out of the second story onto another rooftop along there and starting to make her way back up to level, and she's gaining and she's pulling away. You are losing. You are losing ground.
I rolled a 22 for my acrobatics.
Okay.
How far away is she?
She seems to be almost 100 feet away from you now.
All right, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast. I have a range of 120 feet.
Don't kill her.
You can't. So the way this works is almost like a chase scene. You've done something already. You've chosen something that impacted the entire party. Someone else.
Okay.
So just know when you step up, you're playing a moment in a sequence. This is kind of the way they used to play these sequences in 4th edition, where you get enough. If you get enough fails, the person gets away. So you've already gone. You kind of like you've made an action, right? So your action. I'm pulling off to somebody else. So right now it's Machina,
Okay.
giving Machina an opportunity.
Yeah. I rolled a 22 for my acrobatics. After just augmenting my speed and just focusing everything on the legs to just dash.
20 what?
22.
22. Machina. Describe what you would look like for you if this was like, a cinematic sequence as you would kind of like gain ground and you're getting close enough to be she's like 50 feet out.
That typical stance where someone runs with a sheathed sword like an old samurai movie, like that, except for there's just no sword, but just that same stance.
And as each one of your feet is kind of like bursting the shingles on the ground, you gain, your Machina is gaining some ground on these relationships of the miniatures as you see them are not accurate. So don't think about being close like that. Just think about like kind of mostly visualizing the chase and who's where. So that is one success there to one failure. As Machina has gained some ground, is anyone
Robbie's
doing
gonna
anything
jump
else?
out there. He's gonna he has that thing, what's it called?
You can cast support spells in your party to give them advantage on certain things. You can do other things like that. You know, you can think outside of the box in that way.
So Robbie has a feature, hidden city secrets from his time as being homeless.
Mhm.
So he's kind of like, as he like jumps out and he's like processing these like little like minute things of like where to step to kind of like get through the city faster. And like the way you see it from like the camera's point of view is that like as he's running from rooftop to rooftop, as it passes like chimneys and like other buildings that are slightly taller, like he becomes more quadrupedal instead of bipedal as
Got
he's like
it.
jumping.
Kind of like leaping, yeah.
Yeah,
Because you're using that skill, I'm going to treat it as a survival check.
cool. I get advantage on that. 22.
Okay. Ooh, you meet it. You just meet it. You beat it. So you are kind of, I imagine then Ravi is kind of coming around on the side, and now you are kind of on one of the rooftops side by side with her as Machina is chasing from one side. You guys are kind of like trying to close in on this like pinching moment. Dmitria, what are you doing here? As there is
Dimitria's
another
not-
success.
Dmitria is not very spry, but saying a quick prayer to Bahamut, like, you know, you gave me my redemption, you chose me, you said that I could be better. But the way I'm going to be better is by helping bring Kataya down. So like putting all of her desire to be a better person into just booking it. She's not very spry, but I think an athletics check, just booking it, pure muscle, trying to just adrenaline burn her way, dashing after, probably following after Ravi if Ravi jumped ahead of her, just using Ravi to kind of blindly trusting that he's finding the correct way through everything, putting her feet where he's put his feet, following in his wake, just maybe cinematically, if a moment arises, using her shield of Bahamut to surf on a roof.
I like I was gonna say athletics, but now I can see that as me. But since we've used a couple acrobatics already, I'm gonna go with your athletics of just like strength and muscle as you like are just kind of trying to catch up. You're heavy in the armor, but just trying to stay within range, get closer to her.
Fun fact,
I will
when it comes to actually running, being heavier is better because the harder you can hit the ground, the more force you can put onto it to push away.
Makes sense.
I will be using my new inspiration. I did not have it for over 3 hours. I'll be using that to roll again because that roll sucks.
Okay.
An inspiration. That roll sucked too. Fuck. Athletics. My athletics is a +3, 12.
Demetria, you are pushing, you are landing on top of these rooftops hard, but suddenly one of the shingles gives way and you collapse onto the shield and you start to slide on it, but going down into the alley below.
Even once hitting ground, I'm still like looking up to the roofs trying to.
Can I have a deck save now? This deck save does not count against you guys are 2 fails and you're 2 successes. This save does not count against a fail. This counts against a fail of you falling off the rooftop.
Can Grom try to like grab her by the scruff, like puppy style?
I don't know if Grom. You didn't say Grom was there, so I don't think it's happening.
I ran ahead.
Together.
11. It's an 11.
She's gonna. So as Grom is like trying to huff his way over, you slip off the roof, and you will take from the fall.
Hurts my pride more than my body.
Yeah. She collapses to the ground into a bunch of like trash cans and like hay. She kind of rolls out. She can still see the direction of everyone running along the rooftops through the alley as she kind of staggers to her feet. She's behind. She's taken 15 bludgeoning damage. She starts to
15 shit.
Starts running there.
I feel like it would be me right now, but
yep.
What do you miss Eldricon, or is he not with us?
Me.
I'm in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not hungover. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna try to use a like Hunter's Mark gives me advantage on like perception checks to find her.
Okay. So you want to try to
You like
Listen,
trying to find the best way to follow her.
Like perception or survival checks to find the person or creature that I Hunter's Mark. So then
you could
Or your knowledge of tracking animals kind of predict the path.
could you yeah, I imagine that you could do that to track her. And I imagine are you trying to catch up, or are you trying to like lend this so that someone else closer can try to grab her? Or
no, I'm trying. I have a pretty far range, even with my short bow.
okay, so are you gonna like shoot at her? Is that
I want
like
to do
with
like some non-lethal, like a calf or something social, like fall.
Back of the knee.
Yeah, something. And then if I watch her fall off, I'll go like bring her back up. I heard a partial pancake is all I'm saying. I got a partial go ahead from Dmitria.
You got it damaged, but not killing.
Yeah,
You got
not
she can be
full stop.
dented, but not.
Like,
And no cake.
and the
May
Keely
hand,
more
okay.
seriously injure, but not kill.
all right?
Oh,
So
wait.
you can get your advantage, and you'll just treat it as like a regular shot, but her AC will be based on her deck save
Oh, cool. So you're not gonna make me. You're just gonna let me roll advantage for an attack.
for an attack.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Hearing partial pancake on a rooftop.
Eldricon like is about to take a step out,
It's like,
partial
oh,
pancake, and takes the foot back inside Mr.
yeah,
Reese's
so we-
boots.
I'll be waiting.
A dirty.
I will watch the back door.
Does a
Most
dirty
courageous
20
choice.
hit? Sorry, Malcolm. Does a dirty 20 hit?
It does.
Okay, cool. So that would be- I'm just gonna give you the most damage.
Damn, no cake.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So 8, and then plus that Hunter's Mark. 5 plus Grom's fire. So 18, but 17 or whatever number to make it non-lethal. Okay, I don't know how that works because we're so used to killing.
Yeah, so she'll take the damage, but it's really going to just count as a success. So you are at 3 successes, 2 fails, and she gets hit, and she kind of rolls. She kind of staggers like and she slows down, of course, and it kind of turns and whips back and throws daggers, like throws a bunch, like 2 daggers, one going directly at Machina, one going directly at Ravi. Can you guys give me deck saves?
Not my boy.
14.
They have advantage on deck saves right now. So that'll be 15 plus 5, so that'll be a dirty 20.
Nice. So the one of the daggers clinks off of Machina's armor. The other slams into the fur on Ravi's shoulder, doing 5 piercing damage. 3
I don't get deflect missiles until level 2.
successes, 2 fails right now. Guys, and then she turns and she keeps running. She's not as fast anymore.
We winged her.
Eldricon, we jumping into the fray here.
After you.
I'll go jump, run, parkour.
I saved your life.
You want to throw a fireball at Machina's feet to boost him?
Shit.
That'd be cool.
Allow it. Yeah, we'll be in our. That's the kind of stuff you could do here. You use an
That's
Arcana
cool.
check to boost someone's. Yeah.
I'll just turn to Eldricon and say, well, after I get as far as I can get, I guess or before that, I'll just turn to him and be like, well, come up. I'm sure you can come up with some creative idea in this situation and give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
He like tries to front like, yes, absolutely. But it's just like, why the fuck did he help me? I'm
I don't
so shitty.
Yeah, you decide to help Eldricon do something.
Yeah.
Acrobatics, like what?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was gonna do a fireball or something spell like.
No,
How
I
about Eldricon
absolutely
was gonna do?
I will need that inspiration for sure. But I mean,
Okay, good. But yeah, I'm trying to get as close as I can to Ravi if I can. Malcolm.
Close as you can to Ravi.
Yeah.
And how is that? What's the goal in this helping you bring down? Because whatever you do, the goal to get you closer to bring. So, what does getting closer to Ravi do? Or
Well,
what are you?
I'm just thinking like I already gave some inspiration to Elder Khan, so I want to stay close to Ravi to give him inspiration next if there's an opportunity. But if there's not,
I
that's
see.
fine.
some intense chase music.
Yeah, so you're just giving inspiration.
Yeah, because I can't reach. I'm not within 60 feet of Kataya, so I can't really do anything.
You could try insult her.
I mean, you could. You have a bow. Yeah, I mean, you could try to do it. You could try to wing her.
Yeah, use your longbow.
Oh yeah, true. I completely did not think about that. It's
Why not
150
throw your
feet.
first at her?
Oh, actually.
150 feet. That's true. Shit. Yeah, I'll pull that out. I guess I won't go too far then, because if she's within 150 feet, is she?
She is.
Okay. Then I'll just yell at Ravi, "Hey, check this out," and try to shoot. Nope. That is a 9.
Dice God hates us looking cool. Dice God's keeping us humble.
I'm still
tonight.
practicing. I don't know. Like I probably hit like through the glass of like some.
I mean, it could still be
Like the size.
cool. You just didn't hit her.
Well,
So,
it's a 9, so it's not cool.
So it flies. It's flying directly at her. I mean, it's flying like in, towards her direction. There's a bunch of like chimney stacks, and she like leaps behind one of them and kind of like holds herself back, and it like slams into the side, and then she ducks out
Cool.
and continues to run. She leaps over to the next building, slams down on her knees, slides across rows, and then she looks up. And now from that moment, you guys, to get to her now, you have to, whoever's coming after, no matter which way, the roof that she's on, you kind of have to leap across onto. At this moment, I'll say, what is everyone kind of like thinking about doing here?
What I've
Oh
been
yeah, what
able
were you
to
gonna
have-
do?
Would I have been able to have a turn before she jumped, or I'll just do what's up right now?
You would not, because he failed. So
No.
now you've got to like contend with where she's at now.
At this point, is she within 90 feet, or she's way far out?
From where you're at, because like you were like, I imagine you're like in the
Yeah,
big
like-
robe and
yep,
everything.
yep,
You've got to be the slowest, and she just
Holding
gained.
up the skirts of the
Yeah. So here's what I'll ask. What I'll say is, the feat will come apart with whatever you're going to do. If it's going to be spell based, it's going to be Arcana check. I just will not give you. What I'll say is she's probably beyond 90 feet, so I'm not going to give you advantage on it. But you can try it.
Right on. Okay, so my plan, at least right now, is use my action to dash and then quicken a spell once I get within 30 feet of her.
What do you? Okay, so that's just going to be an Arcana. Your dashing is going to be automatic. Did I miss something when I stepped away? Sorry. What happened?
No.
Oh, I'm being stupid in the chat. Ignore me.
Handsome folding.
Cargo pants of holding.
Love it.
Why is nobody laughing at the Gene Code Genes of Holding? You
I
guys.
did.
That's so
I
funny.
laughed. That's what made
Okay.
me laugh.
That is a 10 Arcana.
Ooh. And so as you try it, describe what it would do at the moment if it would have worked, what we would be seeing. Eldracon.
Once he was within 30 feet, if he would have been able to cast the spell Suggestion.
Okay.
So I think he just like starts to do the verbal requirement saying like, stop, and
Yeah.
realizes that it doesn't work. And that's just like he cuts off the sentence there.
And as it leaves his lips, as the power rings out, in front of him, in front of Ravi and Machina, who are closing in, A flourish of like hellish red light opens, and right in front of her. So she's behind this portal that is just open, and this thing swoops through this giant gargoyle-like creature and slams down on the rooftops. And as it does, it has this huge halberd and a shield in one hand, and it seems to be stone, but it seems to have almost like magma or like lava running through the cracks of crevices, keeping it.
Oh shit!
That's from Dark Souls.
It is. As this happens, this kind of stops, I imagine, or you guys. So right now we had who was the closest was Machina and Ravi. Back making their way, getting closer, would have been I think Cheryl is the last. Cheryl, Dmitria has
Dimitria's on the ground. Yeah,
disadvantage to her initiative check to get to everyone.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I figured.
Damn.
Picking out mine.
I'll give Ravi and Machina a moment to say like what do they do as this thing comes out.
What happened to Amnon? Did he lose track of?
Oh yeah, I
her
lost.
completely?
No, you did a turn, but yeah, you're catching up as well. So yeah, you would have caught up right behind them with the wings, Amnon.
Okay.
So it's you three, and everyone else is kind of in that second batch that'll show up next. So
Ravi is going to like pull out his rapier, and he's going to trace like a symbol of like a star, and he's going to cast fairy fire on them.
Good
Nice.
call.
Hell yeah.
Good call.
And Machina is just gonna do a jumping punch. Like
As-
normally when you see two people running to each other for a clash and like openings or stuff, he's just doing that.
the creature drags the halberd across it and starts to speak infernal and says, "Leave here. This is none of your business." Before the punch collides. Yes, Demetria?
I was just saying that I understand Infernal, so I would understand that.
If you
Okay.
can, yeah, you like hear it rolling out from the rooftops, and it says like, none of your business. Roll initiative. Machina's attack will count as a surprise just for him. So his first turn will just be that first. We'll get that first attack off before we start the second.
Am I able to also get up that fairy fire?
Yes, you did get off the fairy fire.
Cool.
Everyone rolling initiative or just that group?
Everyone, because everyone else is going to be catching up, right? So
Yeah.
Cheryl, I just
22
picture
for
after he
initiative?
said that, we just look at each other like,
1 second while you guys do those.
Also, now y'all, when Robbie pulls out his rapier, you guys see that it glows. In
Hell yeah.
fact,
nice.
It emanates. It emanates bright light in a 15-foot radius, and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Oh, I guess in darkness. I don't know if we're in darkness. We might be in dim light. 'Cause
I mean, it's still.
Sword is it?
it's a moon
Do you get a
touch
buff
rapier.
because we got a full moon
Rapier.
behind us right now?
Speaking of
Uh,
the full moon, can we just enjoy for a second the framing of that shot with the
Oh,
giant
yeah.
moon right behind
Yeah.
the gargoyle?
It does look
looks
cool.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
It's so cinematic.
My
Yeah.
question is this truly going to be the Dark Souls boss fight? Because if so, I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, shit.
Machina, what'd you get?
For initiative,
Mm-hmm.
I got a 22 for initiative.
22. Of course, your first attack is going to go off, but then Demetria?
She got a 4.
Big four.
Yeah.
Big four.
Eldricon?
Dice God has forsaken me.
Why?
Eldricon?
Dirty 20.
30-20. And so because you guys did kind of fail completely catching her, everyone else who's not on the roof right now will arrive. You will arrive on the next turn. So this turn you literally have to dash. You have to like use all of your movement to get there. Demetria, you will use all of your movement to get there as well. And that's fine. You will also have your first action at disadvantage. Elric.
I got a 21.
Ravi.
16.
Burrfoot.
14.
Amnon.
11.
Okay. And all right, so I think that's everyone. Hopefully this. Oh no, this is the wrong one. Hold on. I gotta retake those from you. I think. Actually, no. I have them. I don't need to retake them. I just have to re-put them back in because I put them in the wrong slot. So Robbie,
The seance fight, the ghost fight that we didn't end up
Robbie,
doing.
26.
All right, so if this is the gargoyle, look across the other rooftop. There should be a golden summon sign to summon Solaire, and he'll just hurl lightning bolts at his ass, and we can just run away. And Solaire will take care of it.
That's a Dark Souls reference. I don't get it because I haven't.
I
played
was
Dark
about
Souls.
to say that's got to be a Dark Souls reference.
Yeah.
That is exactly a Dark Souls reference.
That's
No,
the first
you-
like really major boss you fight in Dark Souls, right?
Oh,
No,
was
the first
for-
major boss is the Asylum Demon. I mean, that's the first boss, and then after that, you fight the Taurus Demon, and then
Yeah,
you
that
get to the
Taurus
Hey,
Demon-
rooftop.
Taurus.
He wasn't
And you
that
don't-
like gnarly as long as you got like lightning hits on him.
I mean, you wouldn't have lightning by that point in the game.
There was like usables, I think, that would either, you know what I mean, like consumables. That would have it.
There was pine. There was some pine resin.
Yeah,
so you could cook
exactly,
weapons in
that's
lightning,
what it
but
is.
like, I don't know anyone who would waste it on the Taurus Demon.
Nothing's a waste as long as you have fun. Nothing's a waste as long as
Yeah.
you're having fun.
You don't play Dark Souls to have fun.
Robbie, did you get a
And why
26?
play it?
No, I got a 16.
Oh, I don't know. How, okay, yeah, I'd put that in the next. Then.
No,
Yes,
just you got 26.
no, this is like, no, is that okay?
I can't
cool.
lie under
Yeah.
the
All right. So we are at Machina. So Machina, go ahead and give me that first attack.
22 to hit. God, I'm getting a lot of different things that add up to 22 tonight. This is
I
crazy.
know, I'm noticing. That will hit.
For 7 bludgeoning.
Non-lethal. Oh wait, no, you're on the big guy. Never mind.
Oh, this is a
Lethal on the gargoyle. Pancake on the gargoyle.
All right, so for 7 damage on it. All right, it will take it.
Then do I also get my bonus action attack?
You do. Let's see. You're taking a free turn, so yes, you would. It's a surprise round, so yeah.
Nat 20 for the bonus unarmed attack, so it's only 2d4. Woo.
All right. So you goes in, smashes in the face once, tries to put its shield up, you connect again.
That'd be 10 bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning. All right, as he's punching into this thing, the skin is so hard, and it kind of a couple times it cracks away, and a few little splashes of this red magma kind of like fly out, but they don't hit you, they don't burn you. But it is something hellish to behold. Machina continues to fight. Machina, you get one. I guess that was a surprise round. So since the thing was trying to talk, so it's your turn again. So now this is the real round.
Alrighty. That'll be 18 to hit.
That will miss. Is it ching? Is it like pushes away with its shield?
Did I get to cast that spell as part of that
The
round? or
fairy
no?
fire.
Yeah.
You got the fairy fire off. Yes.
Okay. So
Would
did they pass or fail?
Oh, I didn't.
Because
Never, yeah,
otherwise Machina would get advantage if they failed.
got it. Let me. What kind of save is it again? It's
Dex save. 13.
Damn it! Fell by 1. So yes. So you do get advantage.
Just on the gargoyle, or is Kataya also?
It would be Kataya as well.
With advantage, that'll be 19.
That will hit.
Yay. For a whopping 5 bludgeoning.
All right. Takes
And
it.
bonus action attack. That's a 16, so that's not gonna hit.
Swings again. Oh, is
I
that
think Machina
in?
doesn't feel fear.
Yeah, you done Machina? Or?
Yep.
All right, Machina, we go with Elric. So Elric, you're rushing in. I mean, if you wanted to stay on one of the other rooftops, you could. If you were trying to move in closer, if you want to stay at a distance, you could be like, off in the. I know you don't see yourself there, but pull it back. You could be in the background somewhere or off on one of the other roofs if you wanted to. Or you can move into the same space that everyone else is. It's your choice. I don't know how you want to take this.
I'll stay at a distance on the. I guess is that like another rooftop on the.
It's another rooftop. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll stay there. I'll shoot with the bow again. And is this with advantage, or is it still fairy fired or whatever?
Yeah, advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, what does verify like? Would it work for both?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Thanks. Sorry.
So that is that's a 15.
Would I have had to make the deck save, or is it creatures your choice?
It's within a certain range, right?
Good question. But I can pick the point, so I could pick it that you wouldn't be in it.
I mean, I got advantage on deck saves. Plus, I have a +5 to it, so
I hear that you want to roll, but I'm not going to let you.
that's fine.
Yeah, so that's not gonna work. And then, am I within 60 feet of it, Malcolm?
You are.
I rolled a 15 for attack. That's not gonna hit.
That's gonna miss.
Yeah.
It hits it and just bounces off.
And I am within 60 feet. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep that in mind if I need to use a reaction. That'll be it for my turn.
Okay.
Wait, speaking of reactions, how far away from it am I down on the ground in case I need to react to something?
You're
You can just shoot me a number.
a good 60 feet, but you have to be climbing. So I'm gonna treat it as like pretty much you would get there. So yeah, you're within 60 feet.
Okay, cool. Just in case I need to divine reaction. Then
Yep. And Kataya kind of grimaces and looks at the thing that just kind of landed in front of her, and she leaps off to the next roof and continues to run. She uses her entire turn to just take off. She's kind of still within board range, but she's dashing. We'll make her give me an acrobatics check just for the sake. That's going to be good. So she's good. And Eldricon. So you'd be... Unless, I don't know, what are you doing? From your distance from the rooftops, and I imagine everyone just kind of would treat it as though you're within, like, where you're at. So in this particular situation, the way I have you're to run to where they are, it's a full dash, but you could stay within 60 feet if you wanted to within the rooftops. That's up to you.
Right on. The girl is like far away by now, right? You're saying like 90.
Yeah, she's going for a full dash, so it's about 60 feet on her part, running. So
If I full dash, I can go 100 feet on my turn.
So it's not possible to get within 30 feet of her, correct?
not for you.
Actually, you can Misty Step closer. And
Yeah, then I wouldn't be able to do another.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You could do that. Yeah, that would get you there. But I don't know what you would do once you get there.
If I action dash and then use a quicken spell,
You can allow you to do it. Dashing on the rooftops to get close.
shit.
You also still need to, at the end of your movement, give me a deck save.
All right. So to begin and end.
No, just when you end.
Oh, right on. Spread. I'll try it. What's that? Bardic? Is it a D6 or a D8 yet, Sean?
D6.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah. It helps.
Every bit helps.
That's an 11.
Is that for the spell or that for the save?
Deck save.
The
at the
deck
end of
save.
movement.
Okay, you still get to make the if you're doing the quickest spell, you can get the spell off before the spell takes it before the fail.
Oh, right on. He's gonna just say he's gonna cast suggestion. Well, and then so that in itself,
Return.
right? Yeah, that in itself is wisdom save 14,
Okay.
and he's gonna say, "Stop, wait, and answer every question Dmitria has for you with total honesty."
Instead of 14,
Yeah, 14 DC wisdom.
she stops, and then just kind of turns and looks back at you and stands there for a moment. And she just kind of nods in his general direction, and then Eldritch Khan slips and begins to
That
slide.
That was cool.
That's so perfect.
That was
and starts to
good.
like
That's so good.
patters himself against the shingles as they begin to slip. With really no one within help
If he
reach.
falls, can I catch him? If he falls, can I catch
You would have
him?
to. I
I'm
don't.
down on the floor. I'm
I'm
down
on a
the
different,
ground.
I'm
Oh,
on
yeah,
a
different.
move.
All right.
I'll say I can give up my action.
You'll
say
have to
that
give up your
instead of dashing
reaction.
upwards.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
be
you give
running
your-
to catch
Give me You want to give me
Quickest fall.
athletics check to
Athletics.
catch.
I like athletics.
Ultra
My dice aren't gonna hate me today. I'm sorry, guys. I can't play D&D anymore. I rolled another 4. That's an 8.
Oh,
Shit. It was meant to be.
So Eldritch Khan takes.
Gotta take that damage.
I think my dice know that finals week is next week, and I haven't worked on my papers.
He takes
I think
14.
that my
Oh.
dice know.
He takes
13.
14 bludgeoning damage, and
Jeez.
Demetria takes 7 from him slamming into her, and you both go
Oh,
prone.
shit.
Well,
Oh.
we bonded.
Oh, my apologies.
you want to check your you have to check concentration,
Yeah,
right?
I'll make that concentration roll. Since I have Warcaster, it'll be advantage.
Okay. Right after Eldritch Khan, it is going to be the creature, and then it's going to be Ravi. So
I've got this.
Ooh, I rolled a 12, so I still have it.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. Sorcerers, man, they're actually proficient in that con save. It's actually
oh,
Oh no, who was it?
Foreshadowing.
No.
I love that it was actually like the
it
head.
was Amnon.
Dice. Dice.
Amnon's dead.
Was moving to
Amnon's
kind of.
unconscious.
So as the creature moves in, it swings the halberd wildly. Its wings kind of flapping. First swing to Amnon. It's gonna be a 13.
Yeah.
Not gonna hit. And then the
That hits.
Oh, it hit. Oh, it does.
Yeah, 13 hits.
And we'll do.
You want to cast shield?
I don't have shield.
5
You fools.
slashing damage, and then
Okay.
it will swing again at Machina for 11, which does not hit, and then it whips its tail around to which has a 10-foot reach to whips over the top to try to slam into Ravi.
Is it like a regular tail or is it like the axe tail in the game?
It's like its axe tail.
Yo, if we cut off its tail, we get a nice axe tail
It's
weapons.
not. You're not gonna get any of that stuff in the game. It's not.
Can we at least get the helmet?
25 to hit Ravi for 10 slashing, and as you get slashed by it,
Wait, can I? Oh shit!
I need a con save from Ravi.
Is it too late to use a reaction? If it's.
You can. You can use your reaction if it was. Were you?
It says I can take this reaction when a creature I see within 60 feet succeeds on an attack roll.
Okay. What happens?
I can magically distract the triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. So the triggering creature has to re-roll a d20 and use the lower roll.
Okay. So I have to re-roll the entire attack. All right. Let's do it. 27 was meant to be.
Okay.
So Ravi takes.
And then I got a 19. for
19.
the con save.
So the con save, you're not poison. You do take 14 points of poison damage.
Fuck, I'm down.
And oh shit.
I was trying to. Damn.
Fuck. And I believe I revert. Well, let me see.
So she's still standing on the rooftop, you know, the farthest away from you, kind of with this magic and this suggestion swirling in her mind.
Wait. I don't go down.
Okay.
I don't go down because I had 5 temp HP when I shifted.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
So
Still up?
I have 3.
The creature kind of like moves, staggers on the rooftop.
Malcolm, and also as part of that spell, Ravi gets advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw in the next minute.
Okay, sounds good. The creature will then taking its opportunity of attacks, fly over and land near Elric. So only Ravi and Amnon can make opportunity attacks if they like.
Machina?
I mean Machina. Machina and Amnon can
That'll be a dirty 20 to hit.
hit.
The action already.
For a whopping 4 bludgeoning.
Okay, takes it.
Could I have yelled out either I'll do it either on my turn or at my next turn. No one hurt. Kitaya. Don't harm her.
No pancake. No pancake.
No pancake.
No pancake.
Burrfoot exclusively just heard pancake. Be careful.
Waffle.
Oh no.
No Burrfoot.
All right, when those attacks are done, and I'll finish taking those. If there's an Amnon one, I didn't hear anything from you, but other than we move to Ravi.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on it. Oh wait, hold on. There's no way I'm going to maintain.
Ravi, you get
concentration. Let me
advantage.
see. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to use that advantage on maintaining concentration on
Right.
Fairy Fire.
Very cool.
Okay.
No.
So after, if you're done, Ravi, then it's Burrfoot.
No, I'm not.
What are you doing? I'm sorry.
No, I rolled
Sorry.
concentration on Fairy Fire.
Oh, gotcha. you're
Fairy
Fire.
Fire goes down.
Okay.
But I still have advantage. No, I don't have advantage. But I'm going to shoot Guiding Bolt at it.
Okay.
Spell was a monumental failure.
Does a 17 hit?
It does not.
And then I'm going to use bonus action. I'm going to use whatever movement I need to. If I need to dash as a bonus action, I'll do it just to get closer to Katile, just in case something happens. but I'm just going to be near her.
All right. So it's 40, 50, 60. You can make the leap over to where she's at. You'd have to fail. You have to really drastically fail. But I will have a acrobatics check to leap to her.
Never say you'll have to drastically fail, considering how our dice have gone tonight.
It's dirty 20.
Okay.
Say, Salune's watching out for me tonight.
Salune's got you.
Except when that X tip came at you.
The shifting kept me up.
Or does that end your turn?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
All right. Amnon, Dmitria. Burrfoot, Amnon, Dmitria.
Okay. Where is Dmitria in relation to me?
They're like down in the
Downstairs.
alleyway. Is somewhere
Like,
around there.
How far? Like how many feet down would you say?
It's a good 35 foot, 40 foot drop, like in between the two buildings, so you can kind of see her from the alley down there. But yeah.
Okay. So, question.
Okay.
Can I shoot this gargoyle thing and then still like tie a rope dog harness style to Grom and throw it down to her to try to help her come up? If I have to use my whole
Too many things to do in
I
one
will do
action.
that.
Nah. Because you can interact with one option. You're tearing around a dog, you're throwing it down. It's a lot of things going on. And you're shooting.
Okay.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Okay, well, I'm gonna like yell down to Demetria because I have 50 feet of rope. That's why I asked. So
Okay.
I still have plenty of rope to reach her, and I also have like, and I did adventuring gear, so I do have like a python. So I'll kind of like drive that in, but also kind of like I said, dog harness. So Grom can like pull a little bit too and help her. I know she's super strong, so and be like, okay, your girl is waiting for you. I don't know if you said pancakes or not, but we're just gonna go with this. So then
Demetria's
I
like,
just
like Eldricon's like robes are in her face. Like, no pancake, no pancake.
Hey, I ditched the ropes, okay? I'm in nice leather pants now.
You're in Jinko jeans.
There we go.
Leather jinkos.
Oh, wow.
yeah, that'll be like my turn. It's pretty much like setting up a whole system with prom, pythons, 50 feet rope so they can come back up.
Okay, so what are you committing to? You're gonna do the rope?
I'm gonna do the rope.
Okay. Got it. So she moves along the roof to where she can help them. Lets down the rope and just give me a advantaged survival check to secure it. If she succeeds, then you, Demetria, you and Eldricon can use it to just travel. It still takes most of your movement to get to the top, but yeah, you can just travel. Use it to travel.
I rolled 2 17s, so 23.
Okay, it's nice and secure. Good rope taut, goes down. Amnon.
All right, I'm gonna look at the creature and cast Hex,
All right.
and then I will cast. Let's see here. Okay, I'll try and cast Command on the creature.
All right.
So let's see, Wisdom, 14. Save.
All right, it does have resistance. $18 and it's 12, so the 18 stands. As it kind of like, as it shakes off, like kind of like red ichor drips out of its mouth and burns a hole in the roof above. As it shakes that off. If we're not, then Demetria.
So question. Is this a scene where I can epically try and carry Eldricon on my back up that rope? Or do I have to embarrassingly dump him so that I can climb up this rope?
Okay, come on. Can't he like kind of piggyback ride on her? He's like tiny.
Eldricon's all frail and like
I
sickly
thought it'd be
almost.
Spider Monkey.
I'm just wondering if he's like clung to the front of you or the back.
Give me a
Sack of potatoes. Don't forget.
athletics check. And
Athletics check. What dice don't hate me today? That's a good question.
Aren't we kind of helping? Grom's pulling. I gave my whole turn to help them get up. She should
you
at
can
least
take advantage on it.
All right.
Advantage. Dankeschön. I need new dice. 12. Big 12.
Oh, shit.
The first one was a 1, so thank you for the help, Britt.
Not moving up the rope at all.
Eldricon, it's like, you ate too many mushrooms, man. You're too heavy.
I hope so much Eldricon now rolls a natural 20 to carry you up.
No, he like springboards off the top of Dmitria's head to jump all the way up.
-1 strength over here.
So if there was like a middle, you would be on this roof in the middle between these two and the one that Elric is over there on. As you pull yourself up, taking most of your strength to get up there, I think the only thing you might be able to do is call out or say something in this turn.
What's the foot distance between me and the creature halfway up the rope?
Between you and the creature right now, I'd say if you are here, we're going to say you're about 25 feet away.
I'm going to try and cast command on it.
Okay.
And the word is going to be, what do we got here?
Prostrate.
Grovel. So it falls prone. It's a wisdom
yeah.
saving throw. My DC is lower than Amnon's. It's DC 12. But grovel. Try and get it to fall prone.
Okay, that's resistance. It goes like, "Ugh." And then it goes to kind of like swing the giant axe, and then it kind of drops down on its knees momentarily.
Prone. Advantage text.
You should have said sleep.
I liked grovel.
So it is groveling.
Grovel's good. Grovel's good.
Or prostrate, because prostration also means giving up arms and bowing.
It's the same thing as grovel.
Yeah.
No,
so
groveling is just begging for your life. You can still be armed and beg for your life. Prostrating.
Here on the spell. Here on the spell, it
weapons
says grovel
bow.
says the target falls prone and ends
Yeah.
its turn.
So it's prone.
So functionally the same thing. Prone.
Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So the creature kind of like slumps over, going down at this moment. As Dmitri does that, a burst of flame goes off on the roof in front of Kataya, and out of it, as the dog-like face of Ravi is getting close to there, out of this flame forms another dog that is made almost completely of fire and magma. Walks out, its entire face as though a dog whose entire skin has been burned off and is just just like the skull and the two burning beady red eyes. And then another one forms on the rooftop here and begins to stalk. Machina, you're up.
Cool. I think I'm just gonna keep on attacking the gargoyle because that seems to be the clear and present danger. So how far away is it?
It is from you about 10, 20, 30, 40 feet.
30? Okay, yeah, I can make that. We'll just run up to it and start wailing. That will be a 8 to hit for the first attack.
Okay. As the command is slowly shaking off. Stand down, we are not here for you.
Does Machina remember this as the thing that attacked him when he was flying?
It was something like this, but it wasn't this thing. but it was it. This thing's bigger than the one that attacked him. Machina, I think Machina does know that this is a devil of some sort, and probably is connected to the devils who attacked him.
So since it asked, it's not here for us, Machina will ask, what are you here for?
And it just responds, the tabaxi has what we need.
Like, we wish to speak with her. I just won't throw my bonus action punch into its face.
This is not possible. Elric, as it is staying as it is, you're standing under it. What do you do?
Let's dance, big guy. I'll start swinging at it with my rapier this time.
Wow, you didn't just hear us having a nice conversation?
Eric's like, I want to hit this thing.
Well, what did you say? You didn't say stand down, right? You just said it's not.
He said he's here for the tabaxi, not us.
Yeah, I'm swinging.
And I just told him, hey, we need to speak with her, but we were still waiting on the response from him.
Yeah, I'm swinging. It's advantage, right?
You may have. Yeah, go ahead. Advantage.
Oh, it's like, I've been training you guys. I'm ready to do this.
Oh, I had an advantage. Oh well, moments passed.
18 plus 5, that's 23. And I'll use distracting strike maneuver. So I'll add another D8 to it. And the next attack on it has advantage. So it's 2d8 plus 5. It's gonna be 9 plus 5, that's 14.
Take 14. So you cut into this thing, slashes some of this magma, kind of splashes out, burns the ground. All right. It's just, so far it hasn't like staggered, it hasn't like gotten bloodied. If you have more, continue. Otherwise, Kataya is still, she spends her turn standing there.
Okay.
And we would go to Eldricon after.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to say Machina is over by the gargoyle.
Because you used a suggestion on her, right?
Yeah, suggestion.
Okay. So
Are you standing by right next to me?
Yeah, Machina standing next to the gargoyle.
Oh, you ran over there, Machina?
Yeah,
Well,
I
that would
tried
make more
punching him in the face
sense.
once, but
Got it.
and then I was talking with him in the good old Inferno.
I thought you were
language.
talking from afar, so I was like, I don't know.
No.
But yeah.
All right, I'm not going to ask Machina this round for a deck save. Just for the direness of the situation. Eldricon.
So I'm gonna like get up as like gracefully as I can, trying to save my dignity as much as possible. Look towards Clay Guy, look towards Dmitria and say, do you want to try to take her, get her out of here, or are we killing this thing?
I think we ought to get out of here.
Okay, I'm not one to lift things, but she is going to follow directions and answer your questions with great honesty, at least for the next 8 hours, as long as I can concentrate on this spell.
If all you want is the tabaxi, you may have her. This thing with no eyes, just its mouth moving back and forth, waiting for a moment to strike or to decide what to do next, just looking at you all.
Eldricon just looks to Dmitria and kind of like gestures do you want to do?
What are you gonna take instead of her?
I have no problem continuing this, but I guarantee you, however it ends, at least one of you is coming to hell with us.
Gotta be Machina.
Arthur comes back. Change my mind.
And it does not respond to the question. It does not answer your question, Dmitria.
Wait, so am I getting this right? That it's like saying that we can take Kitaya if we leave someone behind instead, or
No, it's saying if you continue this fight, that there's a chance, there's a high chance, even if you kill them, they're gonna kill some of you and take some souls.
they're gonna let us. But they're gonna let us take Kitaya.
But they'll
Kitaya
let you-
has something that they want.
Okay.
So pretty much they're gonna come back for this bitch.
No. They want us
They
to
want
give them
some
the,
whatever's on Kitaya,
which
Oh.
is probably
the
you know,
stone.
yeah. If we give it to them, they'll let us take her.
I'm thinking.
But
I'm
has
thinking.
anyone asked what he wants?
Dmitria did. He did not respond.
Oh, he didn't.
I'm thinking metagaming. I think as long as we take Kitaya, she can answer some questions about what's going on. So I think we do it. I think we take her. We let him take the stone. We answer some questions. We can always try and find the stone later.
Whoa, we have the stone of galore right now. Is that what stone you're talking about?
I don't know if that's what she has on her, but they want
She might
something
have
she
it.
has.
She might have it.
Because if she has the stone of galore, we are killing this motherfucker.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I don't know what she has. Suggestion doesn't make you like be able to like. Well, I guess you did say so. Dmitria could ask her.
If Dmitria holds out her hands like this, like shoulders the shield and the thing, and starts to like walk over towards Kitaya, will this thing let her go? I know it's not my turn, but
It
Like,
Dmitria, are you kind of like saying like I'm showing like I'm not a threat?
yeah, I'm willing to
basically.
take a pause in the festivities, but I'm going to be making my way over towards Kitaya. You can play at the not answering questions game. I'm going to go over towards Kitaya in a non-battling
Persuasion
manner
check.
and see if the thing lets me go. What'd you say?
Persuasion check.
Persuasion. Purple dice. Be my guide.
She is in possession of Machina's monocle, the true MacGuffin of this campaign.
The stone doesn't work without the persuasion. Okay, my persuasion's not bad. 16.
16. Okay, so then Dmitria begins to walk. The hellhound kind of snarls and dribbles as she walks by, but does not attack. As she spins, as she gets close enough to the ledge, is she going to try to leap over to the other side?
Try to, and hopefully
Yeah.
Dice God doesn't make me a fool in front of all these people.
I'll take your athletics for it's a short leap.
Thank you. Athletics. Thanks God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Athletics. That is a +3. Okay, that's 12.
So she makes it. She lands down, and she kind of looks up at Kitaya.
First thing she asks is, what do they want?
Kitaya like digs into her satchel and pulls out
Answer me in words, what do they want?
a stone, and she's holding it in her hand. The stone of galore.
Where'd you get it?
So Dmitria is going on a turn here. Elric just attacked. Elder Khan. It would technically be the Hellhound's turn. And
Yeah, I
then one of
figured.
them
I
snarls.
figured I didn't have a lot of time to interrogate her about this shit.
One of them goes, enough questions. It's the same voice coming out of all three of them. Only like, enough questions. and it doesn't seem, the mouth doesn't, just the mouth hangs open and this like dark tongue hangs out of its mouth, and it says, and then is there any other, what other questions were you going to ask her as it kind of starts to, it steps in front of Kataya and standing between you and her, Demetria?
Where'd you get it? Who wants it? I know the suggestion, you probably can't go into details, but just trying to like under the breath demand, who'd you get it from? Who wants it?
Took it off of took it from grave robbers. I need delivering it to the Castellanters.
Shit, okay.
You can hear Eldricon from like behind you, far behind you. Take it.
The dog leaps up, sits on all its fours, and just has the stone in its mouth from that. It's just, and it doesn't run. It's just looking at Demetria, and it's like, and then the figure, it goes, if you think you can take it from us, then we can continue this. But you asked for the tabaxi. We have honored our side of the deal.
Demetria looks back at everyone else because I don't think Demetria feels up to fighting. I know how Burrfoot and Dmitria feel, but
Ravi's taking his cue from Demetria. He's definitely like bloody. His fur is all matted.
yeah,
but he's like,
down to 3 hit points.
but
Demetria's
he's
gonna
standing
look.
at-
Demetria's gonna look at the Hellhound, and she's gonna say, "Even if we can't take it off you now, there's always later."
Amnon, can I have a advantage insight check?
What would I roll if I was battling my like reptilian breed red dragon mind in character?
Wisdom
Oh,
save.
That's up to you. Yeah, you would have to give yourself your own wisdom save. I won't force that on you.
Having done this research for my paper that I need to turn in a couple of days, wisdom saves measure power of will. So yes, it would be a wisdom
Bullshit.
save.
Because I know in 4th edition it was a will. It was will, not wisdom.
It's still, well, now they call it wisdom, but in the Dungeon Master's Guide, they specify that wisdom saves are for saves against your willpower, resist your like perception of reality. That's why you save wisdom for charmed spells.
Travis,
I got 13.
All right.
13. Amnon, you hear the voice of Lash, and it says, "Don't throw your life away recklessly. I don't like these devils either. They are the opposition. We will have our day to get them back for sure. But I'm not sure you have it in you to finish them. Just yet."
He's just gonna be a little depressed, but he's just gonna answer back, "Really? So you want to circle back around to these people later?"
I believe in you. I mean, if they're taking them to the Castellanters, then you could always break in there and take it from them. Just saying.
This better not be a trap, lad.
When have I ever sent you to a trap?
Insight check.
See, I would like to think that the imp
Insight,
appeared
insight.
and was speaking with that voice, kind of like how these guys are speaking with the voice of the other devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening.
We just can't see it, the imp.
I don't know how you described the Stone of Galore earlier. I can't remember precisely, but in my head, it's like just a hot potato. Just what it looks like is a hot potato. It's just like a stone that looks like a potato, and it's hot to the touch.
I was imagining
Completely
either
fine.
like the orb that Saruman had,
Yeah.
like that blackish orb with kind of the reddy fire in it, or one of those stones from the Temple of Doom.
The way I originally described it is almost like a bluish glowing crystal like ball, but when magic is activated, it looks crystal like. But then when it almost like cools, it's almost like a cooling effect, even though it doesn't get hot. It looks like a stone, so kind of like a hot potato. So it looks literally like a rock, completely smooth. But then when it's like glowing or activated, like how when she's holding it right now, it almost looks like it should shatter when it hits the ground.
I rolled an 18 for the insight.
Okay. You can't trust the devil, but it does seem like, so clearly this is a lie. You can read this as a lie to some extent because, you could take, Amnon could easily say that they trapped him by putting him in a terrible position to make the decision to sign the contract. The contract you've read seems to kind of like trap you within it. So clearly this could be read as, or you can read it as the creature doesn't see it as a lie at all, and so far it has only kind of gone along with the plan that you and it agreed to.
Okay, so Amnon's gonna close his eyes and just kind of shake his head and be like, okay, I think that's a good idea. So then I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna be like, I think you should let him have the stone. Everybody stand down. Let's just back up a little.
Why?
Burrfoot, we can't handle these guys right now. Trust me.
Are we gonna?
I think just let them go. I think that we can circle around back with some extra help. I give you just this like stern look. I'm like, just trust me, and I'm gonna shake my quarterstaff, and it's gonna light up red.
You can see like Eldricon is staring obsessively at that stone. His reptilian eye is glowing like bright gold, and he's like slowly like trying to choke his breath off from saying, take it. And as he chokes the like last bit of breath off, his eye dies down and he regains his composure.
Nice. Did you roll for that?
I did actually.
Cool. Very cool.
Are you next to me, Eldricon? Is Eldricon and Amnon next to each other?
I'm not sure. We could be.
Yeah, you're on the same rooftop, so yes.
Okay. I mean, I would say that I would just run up to Eldricon, just like, can I just put my hand on his arm and just lean over him and be like, there's still a chance. We can still do this.
Tell her. Oh no, she doesn't have the orb anymore. I was gonna say tell her to throw the orb to Machina, and Machina can just fucking book it. He is fast as fuck.
Alex is gonna be like to the gargoyle. Yep. You go ahead.
Dmitria is gonna like kind of circle over to like kind of grab like Kataya by like the upper arm and start to like back away.
So everyone's kind of.
What level
down.
do rogues get cunning action?
Second level?
Okay.
Amnon's gonna turn to the gargoyle and be like, we're not fighting. You go on, do your business.
Do we know metagaming? Do we know exactly, other than a bunch of people want this, like what the Stone of Galore does exactly.
No, I don't think we do.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Didn't we learn from what's his face?
You learn from
Our buddy Rainer that we still haven't talked to.
Raynar
Yeah,
sent
Rainer.
you a letter saying that it supposedly leads to his father's treasure.
That's right.
Oh,
I
right.
didn't know that.
So right now, the Hellhound that's right next to like Dmitria on that platform has it.
Yeah. And it's
In
out.
its mouth.
And what about the other one up on the roof? Those two like just appeared. They're totally fine. Correct? They're not damaged whatsoever.
They're not damaged whatsoever.
And
Sorry for the scratches.
could I make like a survival check or something to see how gnarly these are? Burrfoot's about to take these motherfuckers on by herself.
Burrfoot. Kill shot everything.
Just being true to like my character and what she would do, she's like.
Oh,
not-
fuck.
Okay. You
I just want to
Live
like
on
maybe
in
get a
legend,
survival
Burrfoot.
check and like size these guys up.
You'd have to give me I'll take a survival check, and what you're comparing this thing is this beast that's standing in front of you to things that you've seen in the Fae, to things you've come across in the wild. I don't know if you've come across devils before or fiends. So give me that.
Sorry, I'm just laughing.
Actually, just give me it actually would really be I'll take a survival since you're a ranger.
Okay, well, I rolled a natural one, so
Oh.
damn it.
So I'll take that
Nice
one
God.
I'll take that one as Burr can't read it. Burr's feeling fiery. They're fiery. They are looking at you, moving back and forth, and the all Burr sees is that the one that is holding the stone is turning, and then kind of like starting to, almost as though it's the front of its nose is just walking into a portal, like it's just turning into, it's just starting to evaporate and take the stone with it. If you're going to do something, you have to do it now.
If I rolled a natural one, I don't think I'd do anything.
Okay.
Oh, whew.
Nice God. Nice
Oh
God.
man.
Good.
So
Damn.
as they
We're all like, woo!
I
Brittany's
wonder
like,
what would happen if
shit.
Eldercon had done something too. That'd be crazy.
I mean, dude, that would have sucked.
so as they sit there, are there any last moments that you want to share? But one thing that the gargoyle does is it kind of nods, and then it takes off and it flaps its wings a couple times, and it goes over to the nearest like tower that's overlooking you all, that's maybe like 50 feet away, and it lands there, and then it just kind of and it just turns into stone, and it holding its halberd overlooking you all, almost as to say, as you feel like it's still there, still watching, but completely stone and not moving. These are just last moments here, as you have Kataya there, before we begin to close out, or before we close out here.
Ravi like staggers for a bit and drops out of his form as he's just like so fucked up.
Do you keeping suggestion is still on Kataya, right? So I don't know if
Yeah, the concentration is being held.
Yeah. So
For 8 hours, which is insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's just standing there,
Mishra is like holding kind of like the instinct, knowing Kataya is there to like hold on in case she tries to get away, but she's so like she's so suggestible with suggestion on that it's kind of this bizarre, right? Like Dmitria is as close to her past as she's gotten in a while, and yet that past right now just seems so different from what she remembers, because Kataya is not someone to be led easily. And maybe where once Kataya was someone who was really familiar to Dmitria, again with that hindsight of changing her ways, it kind of feels like for the first time she can visualize how things have changed for her being so close to Kataya again.
Kataya looks at her, still under the spell, her eyes glimmering a bit, her constantly kind of like thumbing with her tongue against her mouth, maybe like in a strange, almost like weird allergic reaction to the magic, almost like she wants to say her own things, but she feels compelled to just, wait for your continued questions. She looks at you with a bit of, you don't know if it's bewilderment, hate, concern over, but she doesn't really say much in this moment. Anyone else? Or anything else? Otherwise, begin to kind of pull out on that shot of you all. I think they're standing there under the moon. Were you gonna say something?
No, I just thought it was cool that it was under the moon.
Do you guys think I should cut the spell? Do you want? I don't know if this weird being.
No, I have got some questions for her, but I think we might want to get back to the manor first.
Yeah. And so
Okay. Red wrong.
Machina wants to go back to where all those books were in the tower.
Yeah, we definitely want to check that out. Oh shit, that's a good idea.
Books.
We can go back to the tower. I can ask my questions in the tower.
So they
Do I pick up a vibe of like that Dmitria and this chick have totes been together? Or... like, are we seeing
Roll
a different
insight.
side of Dmitria? I'm just curious, just for like, insight from my character.
Do you tie her up as you do? Is she like kind of being led? I know that her suggestion works. So do you just
Probably
tell
just
her,
leading her.
just
Probably
tell her
just
what to
leading
do?
her.
Yeah. Okay. And so we'll kind of like watch them as they walk along the rooftops, heading back towards the necromancer's hiding place, where they will decide what to do. What to do next. They do have Kataya. Dmitria did want her, and she will probably be able to get a lot of information. Whatever she's seeing will be revealed. So there's a win there. Back home, through the window, Lif is preparing a meal when a paper bird flutters through the window, and Lif kind of catches it. We don't see him; he's literally invisible, so you can tell something kind of catches it and lies it on the counter after pouring drinks around a table, almost like waiting for y'all to come home. And it sits it on that round table, and as the little paper bird unfolds, we kind of push in. It's an invitation by Raynar for you to be his security detail for the Castellanters party, and we'll end there. one
I'm
is
not
this
in my
one.
20s. I don't have a fucking TikTok. I really don't.
I'm on my
That's what
20s, but I'm smart enough not to have a TikTok.
I see TikTok through Instagram Reels, and that is how I see TikTok.
I do not have TikTok because I want
don't-
to keep my security clearance, and because I have read the order saying I am not allowed to have it.
Oh shit.
That means I've acknowledged that I cannot have it. Therefore, if I do get it, I can revoke my clearance because that'd be directly
If you do
disobeying
get it and
that
they find
cybersecurity
out
order.
about it. If you get it and they find out about it.
As
So
we
I-
say on our recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
I'm
favorite.
telling y'all, it's a cybersecurity risk.
Yeah. So Instagram makes it's reels. So I don't use TikTok, but you can do reels there. And so this is the I've one of my favorite ones like that I've done is just cutting up the. If you go on my Instagram, it's I cut up all the images from Bram Stoker's Dracula
Oh sick.
and to this track, and it's like a trailer for Curse of Strahd. Yeah, that one was fun to do, but because it really worked with the trailer images. And I would just usually just send it to my group to like get them amped or to get them
Hell
feel like I was gonna like murder them on the next game or whatever. Like, yeah.
Well, now you have to change the opening because JaCarther's gone and Mocking is back.
Yep. I gotta add Ravi too. I
Ravi.
know how that happened now too, because when on my editing system, sometimes when you'll copy all the names out, sometimes what will happen is when I move things around, I'll accidentally like I think I had your name in there and I think I edited or I cut out one of the cuts and the name was attached to it, so it went away and it was my fault and I didn't see it when I didn't double check it probably. So I gotta add Ravi and then I'll add Mocking it back, and then those will be back there. So we'll go from there. I will say there was a chance I was like, okay, if they get the stone here, then we go from here. I will say meta wise, actually I'll go ahead and stop recording, but